My name is William Diego Parker, and it's a pleasure to serve you once again from now to approximately 9:30. Welcome to Healthy Morning, live on Hstv. We're also live on Facebook, Hstv Live, and it's going to be another great day. Just gone by was a song from the man Joe Metal, that I think is a Gospel Artist of the Year. Yes, I just ended VGMA's 23 or 23rd edition. Anyway, so the title of the song is Great Jehovah, and I think it's a new one he just dropped. So yeah, kudos to you. Keep going as you do always. But it's time for us to get into the usuals and give you an amazing day on a midweek like this. So we're going to have the usuals. We're going to have Sister Jelly come through in a bit after this introduction and take you to the kitchen as always. Give you the matron idea of how to cook effectively and most importantly, healthy meals. All right, so then after that, we'll come in and do the Masters Rise and have a lot of stories to share with you. Remember yesterday, I was here talking about the fact that when there is traffic in some areas, the likelihood of robbery becomes high. We're also told by the police that they're going to offer some sort of security on those plying the Tema motorway because of the traffic. But just yesterday, I woke up this morning or this dawn and I saw a post from a friend, Akosia Konedu. My apologies to you, or sorry to you for what happened to you. Her laptop in a bag, in the course of the traffic, somebody just grabbed it, boom, away bus. The same scenario I was just demonstrating or talking about here yesterday, that happened to a friend of mine on the stretch of Awudome. There was also another traffic, the wife was sitting right in front with a bag on her lap, and boom, somebody take the bags away. And the same thing has happened to somebody else on the motorway just yesterday, last night. So please, if you're applying that road, you know there's a lot of traffic on there. So please be careful when you get there. Roll your glasses out. If you're in a trotro, please push the glasses, close it. We beg you. Best and most important thing, if you have any valuables on your lap, put it down. And say, what do you see from my bag? And if you cover paper, why? Face it from a silver nice name. Wow, and your shade. Why? Face it from a patch. Just save your life. And then, as much as the police have assured that they will be around to help you and all that, they won't be at every point. And when they grab it, they're into the bush. You can't even follow them and go grab your thing back. Nobody can catch them. So please, and please again, if you have any valuables, please put it down in the. From why if you come for why? Okay, save yourself. There's many more stories coming up in the Matters Horizon. Then on Health Stay Alive, my co-host Stephanie will interview Dr. Amwa on oral health. It has to do with men oral health. We told you the entire week is all dedicated to men. So everything we're discussing is channeled or focused on men. And then we're going to have that conversation. She's going to have that conversation with him and then talk more about how to keep your mouth and everything oral clean and all. So I'll also be having Apostle Thomas Kusi appear. He's going to help me talk about the role of men in relationships, and we'll narrow it down to marriage specifically. So if you have any thoughts or questions to ask about how men are treated or should be treated at home, or they should act as a man or a father figure, feel free. Join us on all our social media handles and send your messages to us and we'll read. Hey, don't forget, Health Entertainment will be the last part of the segment. We're going to bring you. JK will be on, and guess who is on the bill? Kofi Jamal. Yeah, all the way from Kumasi. Touching down today for us to have a great conversation with him, and you'll love that conversation as well with JK. So stick around, there's more. In between time, we'll give you some great music also for your dancing feet and keep you alert and all. So don't forget, the show is on from now to approximately 9:30. Brought to you by Kankesi Prudential Life Insurance. Always listening, always understanding. We'll take a quick turn. When we come back, Susa Jelly will be on.
Hello, sweet team. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele, and I am back with another quick meal idea for you all. We're making peppered turkey with rice today. So I cleaned my turkey with some vinegar and salt, and now I've transferred it into my pot. To that, I'll add some chopped onions. I'll also go ahead and add in 1 spice blend cube, chicken seasoning, paprika. I'll also add in some salt to taste and some water, just a little bit of water to help my turkey release its own juices. Okay, I'll cover it up and allow it do its thing. We are back to check on our turkey. It is looking good. I'll give everything a stir, but the amount of stock I have in there was not good enough for me because I will be using the stock to make our rice. So I added just a little more. I'll give it a stir and I'll cook this for about 15 more minutes. By then, it should be ready. And we are back. Our turkey is nice and ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer it into a sheet tray and into my oven. It'll go. I just want to brown it a little bit. You can go ahead and fry it if you prefer. But today I'm trying to go a little healthy. I'm trying, okay? Frying always tastes better, but I'm going to use the oven today. So I'll transfer it and then into the oven it'll go. At this point, I'll get started on my rice. So I'll add half of a habanero pepper to the stock. To that, I'll add enough water, give it a stir, cover it up, and bring it to a boil. You may chop up the habanero pepper and add it, but my youngest son doesn't care for too much pepper. So I'm adding it this way so we'll just have a hint of pepper in there. I then washed about 4 cups of rice. I'll add that. I'll add some chopped onions, a little bit of coconut oil for the flavor, some salt to taste. Stir everything together. Add some more water to adjust to your preference. Okay, if you like your rice to be soft, add more water. If not, add just a little bit. I'm using jasmine rice and it doesn't like too much water, so I add just enough to be above the level of my rice. I'll give everything a stir again to check, and if I need more water, I'll add just a little more. My husband likes soft rice. My kids and I, we love it single grained, so we have to meet him halfway. Give it a quick stir, cover, and bring it to a boil. Once it boils, we'll lower the heat and allow the rice do its thing. Now in a blender, add in some habanero pepper. To that, some bell peppers, all different colors or one color if you prefer. I'll also add in some onions and we'll give it a rough chop. Then in a heated pan, I'll add in some coconut oil. To that, some chopped onions, and I'm going to allow it fry for about a minute or two. I'll sprinkle just a little bit of salt over this for flavor, and I'll add in 1 green marinade. Hopefully you've made your marinade, because oh my goodness, it goes with everything. You would really love it. And I'll fry everything together for about 5 minutes. Next, add your blended up ingredients, stir everything together. Once it comes back to a boil, allow it simmer for about 10 minutes. I set part of the stock aside, so I'll add that into our sauce. I'll also add a bit of my all-purpose seasoning and some salt to taste. I'll give everything a stir and allow it to simmer for about 5 more minutes. Look at our turkey. It is nice and golden brown. Our stew is also as good as done. So I'll just transfer our turkey into our stew. I'll stir everything together, throw it back into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, and our dinner will be ready. Now let's check on our rice. Oh my goodness, it is nice and ready, perfectly single grained. I'm just going to go ahead and mash this habanero pepper into part of it, and Daddy and I will enjoy that. The kids will enjoy with no heat. But mind you, our peppered turkey have some pepper in it, so you know it's a balance. My kids, they like heat but not too much, so we bring out our peppered turkey, and there you have it. It is ready. Sprinkle some spring onions over it. Serve and enjoy. Now you can enjoy this all by itself, get usmolo like me, but we'll be enjoying it with this super delicious rice. As I said, it's a perfect balance, nice and soft for Daddy and halfway single grained for me and mine babies. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and are inspired to try the recipe. Until I see you in the next one, stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke unamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all. Adiana to look on again. Gambling butter, gambling fish. And sweet adele. Continental food, madam. Food, madam. International food captain. Who show you how to make pizza, jollof, mango and okra soup, sushi and pastries. All this and more. Sweet adele. Go go, go go, gaga go. Sweet adele. Go go, go go, gaga go. Sweet adele.
Cares. Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved one. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Professor Ajiman Beduakosa, and I'm going to talk to you about the effects of smoking. Smoking cigarettes has no health benefit to the body. The nicotine in cigarette contains over 6,000 chemicals, some of which are known to be cancer-forming. But that is not all cigarette does to the body. It affects pretty much every part of the body. And the reason is that it affects the small vessels that carry blood to every end point of your body. And when the blood vessels clog and cannot send food, oxygen, and other metabolic substances to any part of the body, that part dies off. And over a long period of time, the effects become manifest. Now let's look at the smoker's body, and let's start and begin to talk about the effects of smoking on the body. The first thing you see is a balding head, loss of hair. And you see around the knee a reddish patch that causes intense itching. That is called psoriasis. And this is inflammation of the skin. Now you look at that part and what you see is skin wrinkling. This is premature aging. What you see here is skin of an individual that is about 70 to 80. And since most people start smoking as teenagers, you're looking at somebody in the late 30s, early 40s with the skin of a 70, 80-year-old. The next thing we look at is the eyes. Cigarette smoking causes cloudiness of the lens called cataract. Cataract in normal life is a disease of old age. So as you move beyond 70, most people begin to develop some form of cataract. But this would occur 30, 40 years earlier. So somebody in the late 30s and early 40s begins to develop cataract because of smoking. Then the back of the eye, known as the retina, it can cause what we call macular degeneration. This is the central part of the back of the eyes, the retina, where the image is formed, and that is what gives you your vision. And this can lead to central loss of vision. Hello, my name is Professor Ajumambedu Akosa, and I'd like to talk to you about the effects of alcohol. Alcohol is divided into beverages made up of beer and cider with an alcoholic content of 3 to 7%. And there are wines with an alcohol content of between 11 and 17%. Then there are the liqueurs and martinis of up to about 22.5%, and the spirits that can go up to about 50%. The British allowable daily dose of alcohol states that you can have a bottle or a pint of beer, that's about 375 mils to 500 mils, and half of that measure for women. A standard glass of wine, about 300 mils for men, and half of that standard glass for women. And then there is 2 tots of spirit for men and 1 tot for women. That is the acceptable, allowable dose of alcohol per day. The effect of alcohol is dependent on the type of alcohol, which is the proportion of alcoholic content and the volume of alcohol that is taken each day. Now let's talk about the effects of alcohol and driving. Alcohol is a mental depressant, and after the initial high, the effect of the mental depression kicks in. Anybody who drinks alcohol, one of the first things you lose is your recognition of distance and depth. And if you take alcohol and drive for a much longer period of time, then tiredness kicks in. You begin to yawn, and sleep then becomes a necessary evil. And this is where most drivers begin to lose control and result in accidents. Please do not drink and drive. And if you must, it should certainly not be above the daily allowable dose.
can be compared to you. You are King. You reign. You reign forever. You reign. Yes, you reign. Life giver. You are God. You reign. You reign. Yes, you reign. You are God. You are God. You are God. Oh, you are God. You are God. You are. Ancient of days, forever. We lift up your name, for you are, you reign, oh, forever, oh, you are, God. You are, forever, that way. And you are my King. No one can be compared to you, Lord. That way. You reign over all. King of kings, Ancient of days. You are God. You are all-knowing God. We lift up our hearts. We worship you, God. Ancient of days, we are grateful for what you've done. Stemming from our heart is praise.
Good morning to you once again. It's so good to see you. You're welcome to Healthy Morning Live on Hstv. My name is Stephanie Ejojina Manyana, and it's now time for Matters Arising. And we have a lot of issues to talk about. The president, the National Kwakufado, launching some amount of money to, all spearhead the vision of the Ghana Beyond Aid and, invested in the private sector. And I think about $750 has been commissioned to the Development Bank Ghana, and it's money's here and there, money's here and there, money's here and there. It's likely that petrol, diesel, fuel prices of such as well is to go up sooner than later.
Tomorrow. What's sooner than later?
I don't want to scare them. It's too early.
No matter what, you're going to read the story, or you're not going to read the story.
It's too early to, I mean, some people just tune in, some just woke up and then you just say prices of food.
A blow inevitably yours, earlier encountered, extricate you from further torrential hostilities.
Hey.
What I say?
Madam,
Kubisa papa ni papa tintin. Today ya odiano, ya jene preko. Simply put, a blow inevitably yours, earlier encountered, extricate you from further torrential hostilities. Thank you. Thanks you. Yeah. Papa ni papa feel not chairman. It's my senior brother.
A blow inevitably yours,
earlier encountered. Extricates you from further torrential hostilities. Because Ebiana Mobaba no Bobro a corona urban. It's as a they continue.
Okay, but you have some birthday shout outs, so you can go ahead.
Of course, yes. I've got some birthday shout outs to do. It goes out to you, Madam CID, Florence. Akosia Sekum, today's your birthday. You work with the CID, Ghana Police CID. Today's your birthday. Also a member of the Royal House Chapel ushering team. It's your birthday today. Happy blessed birthday to you from your family, your friends. loved ones, and all the ushering team in Royal House Chapel, and everybody else at the CID department also wishing you a happy blessed birthday. A special one from me and my family also to you. Have a good one. Keep doing those great services. One time she was very helpful to my family with an issue, so yeah, on that note I want to say a very big thank you to you, and enjoy your birthday to the max. Okay. And then we have another birthday. It's been a long time we heard from him. He did a song that has to do with a dog. A living dog is better than a dead lion. Remember that song? Josh Lai is his birthday today. Happy blessed birthday to you, man of God. Have a good one. May the oil upon your life continue to multiply and then increase. All right, so enjoy your birthday wherever you are, Reverend Josh Lai. It's been a long time we heard from you in terms of your music career, so maybe you want to drop one anytime soon. We'll be waiting to hear from you. All right, so have a good one, sir. All right.
Okay. Happy birthday to them as well. We are going to start over the finder. The banner headline says DBG takes off with $750 million to transform small and medium enterprises and provide patients capital. And this is from the president. This happened yesterday in Accra at the Kempinski Hotel, and it was just to spearhead the vision of Ghana Beyond Aid, investing into the private sectors and all of that. And that amount of money was commissioned to the DBG to take off to transform the SMEs and all of that.
Let's do the story. So Akufo-Addo launches $750 million Development Bank Ghana. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo formally launched the Development Bank of Ghana on Tuesday, June 14, 2022, to help spearhead the vision of the Ghana Beyond Aid, which entails positioning the private sector to take the lead in our country's socio-economic transformation and create quality jobs for the youth. Speaking at the events which took place at Kempinski Hotel, Accra, President Akufo-Addo stated that today's event is the culmination of years of painstaking efforts undertaken by the Akufo-Addo government to strengthen the infrastructure for the transformation of Ghanaian economy for the private sector-led growth. According to the president, the idea of setting up the development bank was announced in 2017 budget statement and economic policy when he first assumed office. He says it is one of many policy initiatives that my government has come up with to help transform the Ghanaian economy. The overriding objective is to make long-term funding available to the private sector and develop the ecosystem for market access, technology, and innovation, he said. The Development Bank focus, the president said, is to help transform the key sectors of the economy over a period of time by supporting all institutions that are essential for SME transformation. So the focus is going to be on the SME, the youth, and development. So you can access any fund that could help you or aid your company or business that you're starting up with. Okay, so let's see how that goes.
Right.
Don't forget, it's also going to provide employment for people working in the bank and all. So
yes.
It's a good call.
It's a good one. Okay, away from that, there's another story on petroleum. It says petroleum subsidized, not sustainable, and this is from Abbas Tasunti. I have a bit of the story here. It says the head of economic regulation at the National Petroleum Authority, Mr. Abbas Ibrahim Tasunti, has stated the government of Ghana can only subsidize petroleum products if it has the ability to do so, despite the hikes in petrol prices in the country. It comes out to say, in quotes, subsidy in itself is not really a good thing. But because you, the consumer, you are only interested in the cheaper prices, but you forget that if the price is cheaper and the product is not available, you will not like that. He said that, again in quotes, for us, if the government wants to subsidize, the NPA as a regulator cannot say it will not allow the subsidy to pass, but it is for the government to analyze or assess its capacity to subsidize. But you must have the money before you can subsidize, so that we don't go back to the issue where you have subsidized but there is no money and there is shortage. He further explained the NPA can only advise governments when it realizes prices are rising to use the price stabilization and recovery levy to cushion consumers, which the authority did last year. Giving a presentation on the price formula in Ghana in a day's capacity building training for journalists in the northern region this week, early Monday, Mr. Tasunti said Nigerian, as an OPEC country, when they reconstructed their petroleum industry last year, decided to scrap subsidies on petrol by June this year. Then he gave
so shouldn't they take a cue from that? What is happening to top?
Well, according to him, if you decide to subsidize, you have to, analyze everything, access everything.
Oh,
It's
Munja is
not
asking,
like
can the last part of what you read has to do with Nigeria, what
Yeah,
Nigeria has done.
Okay, so it comes out saying, quote, why is Nigeria scrapping subsidy on fuel? Most countries in the world want to scrap subsidies on fuel. It is not an easy decision to scrap subsidies on fuel, but it is very good for an economy. About 70% of vehicles in Nigeria run on petrol. In Ghana, we consume more diesel than petrol. But in Nigeria, it is the other way around because everybody's using the fuel that is subsidized. But because Nigeria produces a lot more crude oil than Ghana does, that is why they are able to use the revenue they generate from the crude oil export to subsidize the petrol prices for consumers. And even that, they say they want to scrap the subsidy because they are not able to afford the
Subsidies.
Yes.
But what might be the case? We know they are the largest compared to us. But if we start working on tour, we'll produce our own fuel here. And then it will cut the number of importations that we import. Also limiting the amount of money in terms of dollars that we use in buying the crude oil here. It's simple as that. Work on tour, support. Anyway, since you're talking about diesel and oil, let's just add that story. It has to do with the price likely to go up.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Nova report says that price of diesel petrol to jump by 11% and 13% for Thursday. So brace yourself, ladies and gents. The second pricing window of the month of June is expected to commence with 11% and 13% jump in the price of diesel and petrol respectively. The anticipated jump in the price of the two petroleum products is based on data secured from bulk oil distribution companies BDCs in the country. The expected increase in fuel price at the pumps is believed to be the result of increased costs of refining petroleum products, given that the price of crude oil has been fairly subsidized on the international market. The situation means the oil marketing companies, OMCs, are likely to increase fuel prices on the market. However, from what happened during the last pricing window, some OMCs had to negotiate or renegotiate with the BDCs to reduce their prices. This situation may occur again, and therefore the margin of increment will reduce. Well, it was expected to have gone to about 20% or 30%, but now we're being told per Nova reports that because there was some sort of agreement between OMCs and the BDCs, there's likely reduction in terms of the pricing going up, rather coming down now. So the likely position is going to be diesel is going to have 11% increment and petrol 13%. Speaking of which, the GPRTU yesterday, I saw some conversation with Abbas Imoro, Director of Operations for GPRTU, claiming that they intend to also increase their fuel prices, but they want to have a negotiation with the government and authorities and stakeholders first before they do that. So that one too is going to happen because it looks like every 2 weeks there's an increment, which we know already, the pricing windows. Every 2 weeks it happens. So this is the second pricing window for the month of June. And when we jump into July, the same thing is going to happen. So yeah, let's brace ourselves for it. The prices is not coming down anytime soon. And GPR2 are intending to also increase the price of fares for transportations. All right, so that's it.
Away from that, still on the Finder, there's a story that says we are not interested in fanning flames of negativity, and this is from Mr. Gabi Asare Ochedako, I think is the head of Asase Radio. There was a new one commissioned in Cape Coast, and according to him, they are into tradition, culture, education, because that's what the future holds. So whatever negativity that may come their way, they're going to scrap that off and focus on only positive stuff.
This is about the third one they've opened.
After
one in one Accra here, another in Kumasi, and then Cape Coast now.
Right. All the best to you too. So.
Oh yeah.
GES must conduct full-scale investigations into Islamic SHS incidents, and this is coming from Brighter Pierre from Child Rights.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So away from the Finder, let's turn attention to the Daily Guide newspaper this morning. The banner headlines read: Supreme Court dazes beggar, or is it Boga? MP again. Who are we talking about? Is the man who has been in contention, James Kwesi, as a North MP. He's been going back and forth. I keep advising here that may or not come because in and out, and yet free. Unless of course Chachuchi Kata is giving it for free because it's an NDC.
But there are some people, I think I've seen some people in my life that they hold on to stuff. It's like once they feel in the thing that I need to have this, I deserve this, they're going to go all out to get it.
So, but if you realize who you're fighting against is higher than you, you just have to compromise.
There's some people that
Just let it go, because every now and then you go and then your case is crashed up. You go again, case is crashed out. So why do you keep find some? Because there can be a by-election and then you can go back again and then stand. This time around as a Ghanaian, not with a Canadian passport or something like that. So you can do that. So I don't know why it keeps. Anyway, away from that story, Akufo-Addo Beth DBG, that is the Development Bank of Ghana that we just spoke about earlier. Then also at the top corner of the paper, we have 3 top Kumasi cops interdicted, which has to do with the Islamic school, that the quelling of the riots by the students didn't go too well. So the commander and the 2 officers have been interdicted. And it comes with a picture of IGP Dr. Dampari. Also on the front page, Unite Behind National Cathedral Project of Oriata, which we did yesterday, is back again on this front page. And then also the last story says Ghana card potential e-passport, according to Ayoko. Potential e-passports. I think we have the story, so let me quickly go and look for the story and do it real quick, because we are being told per the story that we gathered also that it's not to be used yet. That's what the story says. So Ghana card cannot be used for foreign travels yet. Foreign Affairs Ministry. And the story says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has clarified that the Ghana card cannot be used as a sole document for the purposes of international traveling yet. This means the passports and travel certificates remain the official documents for traveling outside the country. Sector Minister Shelley Ayoko-Botwe gave this clarification in response to questions in Parliament on Tuesday, June 14, 2022. Quoting, the Ghana card is not a replacement for the current biometric passport. The Ghana card serves as an optional travel document to be used in tandem with our biometric passports. It must be underscored that the passports together with traffic certificates are the only approval travel documents that are internationally recognized, she said. And it goes on to say the rollout of the Ghana card sparked controversies and conversations after the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said the card has fully met the requirements for an e-passport despite a rejection by the International Civil Aviation Organization, that is ICAO. Government has said the Ghana card has been certified by ICAO and thus qualifies to be used as identity card for international travel in place of passports. The Vice President had earlier suggested the Ghana card would be recognized as an electronic passport in 197 countries by 2022. We are still in 2022, by the way. So yeah. So the clarity came from the Sector Minister, Shelley Ayoko-Botwe, with respect to as to whether it can be used as an e-passport, and she says not yet. But it's a potential. So hang on tight. When the time is due, we'll be notified. All right. Okay, so I'm done with the stories on the Daily Guide.
Okay, so now we can move to the Daily Graphic, and the banner headline is still talking about DPG, where the government is actually boosting for SMEs and as Development Bank Ghana takes off. Away from that, please admit poor handling of Islamic SHS demonstration. Acting Regional Commander and 2 others interdicted. We looked at that story yesterday where the IGP, Dr. Dampari, had to leave Accra to Kumasi to actually, delve into the issue, and then there was an interdiction of 2 others, and then the acting regional commander also taking off his position. I think that's all we have for Daily Graphic.
Okay. All right. So let's get into Parliament once again. The story we're gathering from Daily Graphic says Joe Safo fails to appear before Privileges Committee. Stubborn Academy. This is Stubborn Academy song. I dedicate that song to her from Medical. The Privileges Committee of Parliament will publish in details and an invitation letter it extended to the Member of Parliament for Dom Kwabenya, Sarah Adjosafo. The decision follows the failure of Ms. Safo, who is also the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, to appear before the committee today, that was yesterday, Tuesday, June 14, to explain what might have accounted for a 15 days continuous absence from Parliament sitting without permission and spelled out by Ghana's constitution. The invitation was extended to Ms. Safo by the committee and 2 others, but she failed to honor it today, that is yesterday, Tuesday, June 14, 2022. The 2 other MPs who were referred to the committee by the Speaker, Alban Bagwin, for the same long absence, Kennedy Ohene Japan, MP for Asin Central, and Henry Korti, MP for Yawasa Central, who is also the Greater Accra Regional Minister, are expected to appear before the committee, that is today, Wednesday, June 15, 2022. The Vice Chairman of the committee, Mr. Kwesi Owusu Afrifa Mensah, MP for Amasaman, who disclosed the decision to the Graphic Online in an interview, said Ms. Safo still fails to appear before the committee after the publication of the invitation in the dailies. The committee would go ahead to prepare its report and present it to the plenary for consideration. So that is a conclusion of the matter. She failed again to appear. Meanwhile, the other 2, Kennedy Japan and Henry Korti, are appearing today. So I'm told that it's going to be in camera, so there will be no media people in there to listen to what is going to happen. But I'm sure when they are done, the committee would have a presser and then let us know what the details of the whole conversation went. So yeah, for Ajasafo, we'll hear from the committee later. I'm done with that story.
Okay, let's move on to the new Crusading Guide, and the story here is still about the Akufo-Addo charges as he launches $750 million for development by Ghana. And there's another interesting story here. There it says Achimota Forest Land Saga, new owners pop up. Lateshi Manche releases indenture to support claim. New owners pop up. Pop up from where?
Lateshi Manche. I thought it was even those 2 people who were a war, no, not a war, Okain or something like the family. Yeah, there were those who were claiming that they even have documents, and now it has gone to Teshi. Very soon, Nungwa will also come. Okay.
They even have documents.
The same case with those 2 people who was also. They said they have document to prove that.
Let's go up.
Yo. Ghana with the be able to there. But your Pakabeni so you best start here. We'll start requesting. We'll look for documents. We'll bring it very soon.
Okay, another story on Abbas Tasunti. We've read that already, on the policy of petroleum subsidized, not sustainable. And then the last story is as Dr. Stephen Anwar discovers formula to raise Ghana from economic doldrums.
I think we did that yesterday, MP for Hstv, and also member of the Finance Committee. Okay. I said I like his approach actually, but just that at times the politics gets in his way, and he's too vociferous at times when he's talking, and you like somebody is also trying. He's always interjecting. That kind of conversation with the opposition, But at times he makes some very sane arguments, very very sane arguments, and let's see what's the Ministry of Finance and the Economic Planning Committee will come up with his ideas as to whether they can implement it or not. All right. So, yesterday I discovered some story that has to do with we've been talking about inflation and all that, and the fact that it has gone high compared to that of April, now 27.6% and all. And there was a publication that has to do with the fact that this inflation, there are 15 items that are causing the inflation to go high. And to amaze you to know that even watermelon.
Oh.
Yes, watermelon is part of the 15. We plant watermelon here in Ghana.
How come?
Let me get into it. Top 15 items with highest inflation in Ghana in May 2022. And so the Ghana Statistical Service last week announced that inflation had jumped to 27.6% in May 2022 from 23.6% recorded in April. The drivers of these developments are varied and largely driven by local products. Pay attention, local products, not even the one that you import. Data from the Statistical Service show that 56.2% of the products accounting for the rise in inflation are food and non-food products locally produced, while 43.8% are imported. The major drivers based on the year-on-year figures show that grapes, which is imported, saw a 100.8% inflation, followed by diesel, 81.1%, also imported. Firewood saw 73.7% year-on-year inflation, and we got the graph. I don't know whether my producer can show it so that you all take a look at the graph of the items. And the first one is grapes.
Wow.
That is food imported, and it's 100.8%. Producer, the graph is somewhere there. If you can see it, put that on rather. And then comes second is diesel, non-food import, 81.1%. Solid fuels, that is firewood. This soja. That is non-food, occupying 73.7% at number 3. Then we have watermelon.
That we have here in Ghana.
SA or farms, because you don't have access to the roads, and secondly, you don't have vehicles to cut them to the markets. Watermelon. This is determining inflation here in Ghana. Watermelon. Number 4. With 72.2%. Then we have petrol coming in at number 5 with 62.0%, 62.0%. And then we have maize, ebro, 61.2%. Corn dough and corn flour, another food product, 60.8%. Then we have gas, a non-food product, occupying 60.2%. And then number 9 is washing soap, 59.9%. Charcoal. Now people are moving away from gas to use charcoal now, so it has also surged up. That has occupied number 10 position with 57.6%. Then we have wheat flour, which we're unable to produce here. We're importing from Ukraine and Russia. It has also occupied 11th position with 57.0%. Then avocado pear, avocado pear.
I think pear is actually in season now.
Charlie, yeah. Me, I enjoy that almost every evening.
Oh.
Maybe I'm so turn I don't know. That's a local food. That's 54.4%. Vegetable oil. Recently, Woma was complaining that competition is making it quite difficult for them to even produce here in Ghana. They were complaining about that. But we are importing. We are bringing them in. And it's imported. Occupying 53.4%. Then granite oil, still in the oil family, occupying the 14th position with 53.3%. Then lastly, margarine, all in the same family. Also imported, occupying 49.3% year on year. So these are the determinants of the inflation. This we can easily do a lot about. Grapes is the leading one, 100.8%. Any grapes, what does it give us? Vitamins. We can take our normal orange in place of that. I mean, all these things, we can easily work on that to reduce inflation. But we have a solid economic team. Hey, Ghana, Edio. Boy, it's only God who can save us. Be away, dear. What's your interest? Why?
Right, so let's talk about MIIF to become most important level for Ghana's development. And this is from Edward Cranton. It says the Minerals Income Investment Fund may well become the first importance level in Ghana's development. This is the view of Edward Nanayao Cranton, the chief executive of the fund, addressing participants at the 14th West Africa Pie Exhibition and Conference on the topic MIIF as a tool for national development. Mr. Cranton said the time has come for Ghana and Ghanaians to think differently about wealth creation, especially for future generations. You have thought it.
Myth. It was actually the one I was supposed to use to collateralize the Japan deal. Myth was going to take charge of all those things. But they are saying that it's the best platform to leverage Ghana's development. Well, is that to convince us to accept Japan?
Of course.
Yeah. For the way. It won't happen. Anyways, let's move away from that. High-risk facilities are inspected more than once a year, unannounced, according to FDA. So this is coming from the background of the conversation about Mawako and the investigations that was done yesterday, that we got the presser from FDA regarding what has happened and what the situation was like. So there was a further conversation that has to do with, okay, so all these businesses are around. What does the FDA do in terms of inspection? And they are claiming that high-risk facilities. What determines a high-risk facility? Anyway, we'll find out in the story. The Director of Legal and Corporate Affairs at the Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, Joseph Benny, has refuted claims that the FDA does not carry out its regulatory obligations concerning food safety appropriately Okay, that's a good concession. According to him, the FDA has been conducting regular food safety inspections on food vendors and their facilities throughout the year. He explained that is why it may seem that the FDA has not been busy about food safety is because these inspections are not carried out in the same frequency on all facilities within the industry. The said facilities which have been deemed high risk of not complying to food safety protocols receive the highest frequency of inspections in a year as against those ranked medium risk and low risk. Explaining the processes, he said, when you apply for a license or a permit, food and hygiene permit, we conduct an inspection at the facility. We call the pre-licensing inspection. When we conduct that inspection and we find issues, we come for a second inspection called the follow-up. In almost every situation, we have to do a follow-up. He continues to say, so inspection for licensing is at least twice before the license is issued. When the license is issued, we conduct post-licensing inspections, especially what we term as unannounced inspections. These are risk-based. Let me explain. They are facilities you will inspect once a year after the licensing has been done based on the risk level. They're still not explaining the risk thing. Because non-compliances we've observed and the reaction of the action of the facility to address those non-conformances are such that we are sure that the things will work out very well for you. So once a year, we conduct a post-licensing inspection unannounced. Still not explaining the high risk and the low risk bit. I've read enough of the story. I can't find where the high risk facilities explanation comes from. Low risk, in the story they mentioned even low risk. So which is low risk, which is high risk? How do you determine that? Maybe we have to find out from the FDA to explain much better for us. And even with the high risk, you claim that you go there, you do inspections twice, and then you go to do unannounced inspection per year. It's the whole year and all once. That's very bad. Not a good thing, unless of course you say they don't have human resources that were supposed to going around to do those inspections. But it shouldn't be just per year. Because how long would it take for a food to be poisoned? Just few seconds. So I know I poisoned it anyway. So you don't tell me that you inspect the places once a year, unannounced. You're unannounced, fair enough, but once a year is not good enough. Please, they should do something better than that. All right, so let's move on to the next story.
Let's move on to the next story. It's quite a sad story here. It says 3 teenagers drowned. 3 teenagers have in 2 separate incidents drowned in a swimming pool and a stagnant pool. The 2 incidents occurred at New Apliku in the South municipality in the Greater Accra region and at Sarikrom near Gumwa Budumburam in the Gumwa East District in the Central region last Saturday. Oliver Ayete Tete, 17, a second-year student of the St. John's Grammar School in Accra, and Christabel Ajikumwa, also 17, and a second-year student of the Methodist Senior High School in Salt Point in the Central region, got drowned in a swimming pool at the Lion of Judah Foods and Event Center at Apliku. The third person, who is Patrick Nyako, also 17, and the final year student of the Opeikuma DA Junior High School JHS, was found dead in a stagnant pool left at an abandoned quarry site at Asarikrom. The rest gives details of who they are, their parents.
So it's been abandoned, the pool, the pool has been abandoned.
The stagnant pool. Yes, had been abandoned.
So of course there was no lifeguard people, because I know usually pools around the hotels and other places, there's usually a lifeguard person who is there to ensure sanity and all that and protect them should there be any issue like that. So of course, per the story, part of it says that the guy was actually he told his dad he was going to repair his phone.
His phone at Kaswa, so he went with his cousin Christabel. They called several times, nobody was speaking, answering, and all of
very
that.
Sad, very sad.
Very sad.
Youngsters, 17-year-olds losing their lives.
All 3 years.
But you don't know how to swim. Why do you even go and? Our condolences to the families. This is a very hard situation to bottle down, but God knows best. Our condolences to them. Away from that, other people who also need support are crying foul and asking the president to come to their aid. We've mentioned this story a couple of times, and I don't know what is happening. they are still left on their own. You know the toll booth issue. Most people who were asked to man them were disabled people, and now the toll booth is no longer functioning. We're told they're going to be used for toilets and facilities, and it's still there. The last time I went through one on the Kuntunse Road, it's still abandoned. Nothing like that is happening to it. And these people who were manning them are still home so many months down the line because we're told they're going to be reassigned. Well, the story says Toll Collectors Union to petition Akufo-Addo over reassignment. And the Toll Workers Union is planning to march to present a petition to the president on Thursday, that is tomorrow, June 16, 2022. According to the union, the action has become necessary because its concerns are yet to be addressed by the government. The toll workers were relieved of their jobs following the directive by the government in November 2021 to suspend the collection of tolls on roads and bridges in the country. And the secretary for the Toll Workers Union, Edward Duncan, said the union members are struggling to survive since government is yet to address their concerns. They are, however, hopeful things will change when president is petitioned. Quoting, "We believe that the buck stops with the president. So it is the president if the president gets in the know of what is happening, the promise that he made us, which is that they are going to pay everyone until a reassignment will come to fruition," Mr. Duncan said. He further says the leadership of the union is in talks with the regional police to provide security for its members on Thursday. And you said you're going to pay them, Mr. Makwata, Road Minister. That's what you told them. You're going to be taking care of, pay them until they are reassigned. And since November till now, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 7 months down the line, nothing. How do you expect them to cope? But this is really uncalled for. Worst case, mom half from every month. Worst case, mom half at least to manage. They are disabled people. What are they supposed to do?
We actually heard from a few of them saying that, you know, he had to send his children. His wife had to leave him, abandon him, took the son to his mother in the village and all of that.
And he's depending on friends and family. To survive.
How long? How long can you depend on them?
Imagine at this crucial time. And such people, it's even difficult to even board trotros, which is cheaper than taxis and taxi hailing services.
Yes. How long can you depend on?
How does he even move if he has to? How does he pay his bills? Forget about NHIS and Wapapasa. Charlie.
Okay, let's talk about another chilling story in the Volta region. It says armed men kill one, others hospitalized in Akachi South. One person has been killed while 4 others have been hospitalized following a robbery incident at Makafui and Sons Lotto Company at Ayiti Kope in the Akachi South municipality of the Volta region. The suspected robbers, numbering 6, invaded the company's premises at about 8:30 p.m. at a time only a few of the workers had returned from their daily closing routine. The incident led to the death of one of the company's drivers, Doche Dogbati, who was shot in the back by the armed men, while other workers sustained injuries and were hospitalized. Narrating his ordeal, one of the victims and a worker of the company, Yao Gakbo, said, and I quote, "I had just returned from closing and was going to drop my car key, and just when I entered the office to drop the key, the people entered the premises and started shooting sporadically. They demanded to see the director, and I told them that I did not know where he was, and so they began beating me. When the robbers got to the gate was locked, so they banged it violently until the deceased, which is Dogbate, moved to open it, thinking that it was some other colleagues who had returned, but just when he opened the gate, they shot him." Cecilia Gadasu, who is also a cook at the company, said, in quotes, "I was serving food to those who had returned from closing when the robbers invaded the place and demanded that I lead them to where the money is. I told them I'm only a cook and didn't know where the money is kept, and so they molested me. They spoke Ewe, they wore black dresses, and they were masked." And that's a story from Cecilia Gadasu as well, who is a cook at the company. So it ended up with one person, who is the company's driver, Doche Dogbate, he was shot in the back as an attempt to open the gate for the robbers who were banging it violently, and 6 others, injured, and have now been hospitalized.
Too bad.
In the Volta region.
And this is what will be happening when there's a lot of unemployment and people are demanding for their money, they are not getting their money. And giving the police and the military and the forces extra work to do.
Extra work, yeah.
Because people will be doing this to survive. And I think this also sounds more like a targeted robbery because they're demanding for the director.
And demanding for where
the money is.
So it looks
because
like
probably they know that probably the director has gone for some money or something like that, or some money has been given to him or something. So they were specific with it. Just like the lawyer who was killed in Bamboy. They came in, they asked, who is Richard? He said, I'm Richard Bum. They gave it to him and then he ran away.
Wow.
God save us amidst the terrorist attack that we keep hearing around us. Anyway, away from that, there's a story that has to do with the police that we got wind of yesterday. So the policeman were told he was trying to cross a border, and his fellow policemen tried to stop him. He won't stop. Then one of the police took somebody's car, chased him, and then they were able to overcome him. His car got into an accident, only for the boot to open, and they saw bags of Indian hemp in there. We have a video. I don't know whether the producer has it to show, but the police has issued a press release from the Public Affairs Directorate. Okay, so the police headquarters, and then it's dated June 14, 2022. And the press release titled, "Police promote 2 officers for arresting one of their own who was in possession of substances suspected to be Indian hemp." The police administration has promoted 2 officers, Inspector Azuma Komna, Justice, and number 52543 GLCPL Felix Diama, for their role in effecting the arrest of number 45638 G Sergeant Lochu Agbeko, a police officer stationed at the Formed Police Unit as a FPU in Accra. The suspect, Sergeant Lochu Agbeko, failed to stop at the Have police barrier when he was signaled by the officers on duty to do so. He was therefore given a chase, and on reaching a section of the road at the Peve Mountain, he was involved in an accident and had a fracture of his left hand. And he was arrested and sent to the hospital for treatment. He has since been transferred to the police hospital for further medical attention, where he's under guard. The police retrieved 84 parcels of compressed dried leaves suspected to be Indian hemp from his car. The exhibit had been retained and investigations continue. The suspect will be put before the court as soon as he is discharged from the hospital. And the last part of the story, the letter rather, says, "We commend the driver who availed his vehicle to the police to chase and arrest the suspect. And finally, we once again commend the police officers for their patriotism, vigilance, and dedication to duty." Signed by Grace Ansan Akrofi, Chief Superintendent of Police, Director of Public Affairs. So you can see on your screen the picture of the vehicle by Sergeant Agbeko when he was running away, and then the accident, you see the screens all crashed out. And the video, I'm not sure whether we're going to show it because it's a bit because his hands were totally cut off, and he was shouting, and I heard him saying that so who sent you?
Once you have an idea that you have 84 parts of Indian hemp in your car, and your colleagues were even chasing you to stop, I mean, who exposes and
he knows, but he's claiming it's not his.
It's not.
It's possible somebody from the top has sent him.
Aiding and abetting is equally a crime.
No doubt. I don't. Exactly. Yasumano. And they have to use the police. You see, we keep on talking about the fact that some of the police forces, men in there, are not real policemen. They are not there to be police. That was a bit of the video that we are showing you. The parcels on the floor, and he kept shouting. And yet, look at his hand, totally off. His fingers are all off. Now the left hand is totally deformed. There's no way he can even be a policeman again because you need your fingers. You need your fingers to be in the police force. There's no way he can be a policeman again. And whoever sent him, say Asumana, whoever sent him, unless he doesn't mention the person's name, but if he does, They have to trace all the way to whoever sent him. Anyways,
these are people we are supposed to actually put our trust in, that they can provide security for us,
save life and property.
Yes, but when we rather get scared of you, a policeman traveling with India help and saying it's not yours, it means you're working for somebody. This is not policing. No, it's not.
They use them. They use them all the time.
Yeah.
Some of them, they just intentionally plant them in there for robberies because they're supposed to. The William Van issue, for instance. They always get tip off. They know where they are going. They call them, and some of the police guys that are shot they are fellow policemen. But it's also difficult. It's like, how do you even determine that this guy who is coming as a recruit to learn policing is a member of this armed robbery gang or something like that? How do you even know? That's the thing.
And you end up giving them training how to use
Exactly.
how to do that.
So he's coming to even enhance what he does already.
I'm telling you.
How do you even determine that this guy is a potential? Maybe it will take a lot of technology to do that, because some of them, their fingerprints, when you're able to pick their fingerprints to know the kind of job they were doing before. I mean, all those things has to be done. Inquire, get to know their background and all those things. I don't know whether they fill a form that has all those things, so they can track them, know where they're coming from, their families and all those things before they are even recruited.
Be able to access your system, know that you've had the gun residue in your palm before. The gun before.
Technology is a solution now, probably, but it doesn't also defeat the idea that when they get in, they can also be corrupted.
Of course.
Even if they are clean before
when they get in,
yeah, they can get in and they be corrupted also. So
just as the Bible said, Jesus said, "Nyamani bi wo ya continent Bible."
Charlie. Yeah. So that is how we end Matters Horizon for today. Thanks for your company on that segment. But of course, if there are any of the stories that you want to comment on, feel free to join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Alternatively, you can send a message on WhatsApp, which is on your screen at the right hand corner of the screen right now. You can send your messages over there. We will share with the rest of the world.
And we'll appreciate as well on WhatsApp. You can join the WhatsApp platform, and it's about Father's Day on Sunday. So whatever message you have for your father, we would appreciate just a minute video for you to send via WhatsApp. You have the number on the right hand side of your screen. So whoever it is who has played the fatherly role in your life, sometimes it's not even your biological father, but whoever played a fatherly role in your life, whoever contributed to wherever you are today, and you want to actually say a big thank you or say a word of celebration to them, your videos are welcome. So we appreciate just a 30-second video. You can just record something, just say a happy Father's Day, a blessed Father's Day to whoever you want to say that to, and send your video via the WhatsApp number at the right hand side of your screen, and we're going to show it so that whoever he is, once he's watching, he also gets to see it. So as many videos as you can send, from now till Friday, so that we get to play them throughout the weekend as well. So Sunday it will wrap up and sum up everything Father's Day. So we'll be expecting your videos.
All right. Okay, so let's take a quick turn. When we come back, Precious Azuma will be here to give us details in the world of sports on Sports in Minute.
2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for you. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved.
When the world is out of balance and is slipping towards disaster, only a desperate voyage.
Years before now, I traveled to the land of the spirits for powers. It is impossible for anyone who bears human blood to live amongst the spirits. Blood-feeding demons could have devoured you.
Across oceans of time and space, to the limits of imagination, will lead to the secret power that can restore harmony.
Anano, wait there. We didn't come out with the back up. Kumoji. Asemi. Me won't make a yo. I don't know.
Why you say now, did you know? And I won't me buy pre-bema. Now, who bet me buy Brianna?
Oh! Chalo, what do you like to know? Oh, Chalo, you're going to generator. Hstv shows you before any agro. Wait on American. Hstv, inspiring wellness.
There's some fun about free.
Puno Umbera, Nanyani Dansono Umbera, the Paya Flower, Panso Umbera. Hey, Chapasica, the Bampa, the Power de Wahine, Power Petru, they say, why are you Sanada?
Hello then, welcome back. This is still Healthy Morning live on Hstv. It's time for some sports in minutes, and I am Precious Azuma. Starting off with some local stories. Yesterday, like I informed you, the Black Stars in the third round played against Chile, and fortunately it came out a goalless draw, but we were still able to win during the penalty shootout. However, Ghana earned around $700,000 for their participation in the 21st edition of the Caribbean Cup. The Black Stars made an appearance in this year's international friendly tournament after its return following a 6-year and actually the Black Stars grabbed the third place spot after beating Chile on post-match penalty shootout yesterday, like I said earlier, and won a prize of $50,000. We have a video of what transpired yesterday in case if you missed it.
Señoras y señores, nos vamos. Fútbol internacional en televisión. Con 3 en el fondo Chile. Sierra Alta. El corto paso. A ver quién se suelta. Caldames. Espérame la pelota para Brereton. Acá está Abdul Manaf. Mubarak. Huacaso. Fatawu. Edmunado. Seydou. Otra vez de Mohamed. Y ojo que le puede entrar ayuda. Acá está la figura. El quiebre de cintura. Le va a entrar de zurda. Le pegó. Que va a levantar Mohamed. Muy bien el vikingo Sierra Alta. Y la deja para Toby Alarcona. Mesatú. Todo Chile. Levantar de zurda. Tuvo espacio. Remate con en un cabezazo donde le gana el otro Ayú. Aquí está la reiteración de la jugada. No, deja el pie muy arriba. La roja, sí. Viene expulsado Seydou. Obturando desde el piso. ¿Qué harían en igualdad de condiciones ambos equipos? Se equivocó Sierra Alta. Y viene TT. Habrá réplica africana. Siempre TT. Por este otro sector está. Y se va expulsado. No. Mubarak. Tarjeta amarilla ya. Amarilla para el defensor. El juez japonés no se da cuenta en primera instancia. Y cuando revisa. Jordan Pierre Ayú. Luego el otro Andy. Jordan. Por dentro. Y otra vez el Zanahoria estuvo notable de zurda. Mohamed Pérez al tiro de esquina. Pérez acá está Fernández. Gol chileno.
I got to say penalty.
Penalty.
Penalty. Now we get penalty.
Black Stars, you winning with penalty now too.
I got to say.
You winning game with a penalty now, Chapao. Manaf Nuruddin in pose.
So I need you to have Manaf.
Manaf Nuruddin. Yes. Now Manaf Nuruddin versus Aya Abrantiel. Ben, what a strike! Washa.
But we are both on the fight. They got to say
Fernando De Paul. Washa.
But we are born on the fight. They got to say Shano Beshe.
Budget.
North African countries. So more penalties here. I am more table for we mupa. Now we mudiano. 1 year lucky. Others have about crossbar and I say over the crossbar. And Manaf Enya.
Not in the Aya Chile. Jordan Ayew versus Sebastian Perez. Jordan Ayew. About your brand Facebook original 91.9 FM share. Penalty kick, Jordan Ayew versus Sebastian Perez. Sebastian Perez. Jordan Ayew versus Sebastian Perez. I original 91.9 FM. Gideon Ochenim Gattuso. Raise the power 7. And I'm in the live commentary, Abramo. Jordan Ayew. Jordan. What a goal. Beautiful 2 goalkeeper now to the crowd.
Yes, Gattuso. And Yadia Air 1-1. Because social Jordan Ayew and
Gattuso shot to Mupa.
And Jamaica said
original 91.9 from Suana Masuku Muche. Isahaku. Isahaku versus Sebastian Perez. Isahaku. What a strike! Yes. Power penalty.
Yes, Gattuso.
Power penalty.
Ghana for penalty.
Chile about 3. Omasha 1, Ghana about 3. Ghana about 3. Manaf Nuruddin Betchino.
Now let's move on to my next story. The Black Starlets of Ghana continued their training ahead of second Group A game in the ongoing 2022 WAFU Zone B Under-17 Cup of Nations qualifier in Cape Coast. The Starlets will take on Togo on Friday, June 17, 2022 in their second round game after losing 4-2 to Nigeria on Saturday. On Monday evening, the team led by head coach Samuel Parkwesi Fabin trained at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium under floodlight. Earlier in the day, a successful training session was held at the Roberts Menster Stadium as they gave tours to the second game. Ghana's opponents Nigeria beat Togo on Tuesday to cement their qualification to the next stage of the tournament. However, the Starlets will have to go all out against Togo for a win on Friday to join Nigeria from Group A. Also, former Black Stars captain Samuel Jan appears to be eyeing a future in coaching. Ghana's all-time leading scorer was pictured taking a Football Association of Wales residential coaching course with a number of other former and current players. He said in an interview on CTTV that he would consider a role as a strikers coach with the men's national team. In a statement, he said, "It's something I've given a lot of thought to. I've received a lot of calls suggesting that I venture into coaching. I would like to handle the Black Stars as a strikers coach, but everything takes time. First, I need to work on my coaching course, and I'm due to begin in June or July. After that, we will see." Now let's do some European stories. And England yesterday remained bottom and winless in the Nations League after a miserable 4-0 home defeat to Hungary at Molino.
He spotted the run and played him through. Face to face with the keeper.
Oh, super tackle. They were outnumbered and under the cosh. That had to be spot on, and it was.
And also, Liverpool have completed the signing of Darwin Núñez from Benfica for a club record fee of €85 million, with the Uruguay striker signing a 6-year contract. The deal is subject to a work permit and international clearance. Darwin will wear the number 27 shirt at Anfield. The 22-year-old scored 34 times for Benfica in all competitions last season, including goals in both legs of the club's Champions League quarter-final defeat to Liverpool in April. The upfront fee of €64 million will rise to €85 million should Núñez reach a number of milestones outlined in his agreement, which range from scoring goals to winning the Champions League. Now let's do some tennis stories. And the US Open will not follow Wimbledon's lead and will allow Russian and Belarusian players to compete at this year's US Open, which begins on August 29. Players from Russia and Belarus are not being allowed to compete at Wimbledon later this month. The move, which prompted the men's ATP and women's WTA tours to strip the Grand Slam of its ranking points. Now let's stay a bit longer on tennis and wrapping up with some Serena Williams issues coming up. She will play doubles at the Rothsay International Eastbourne next week, while the 23 Grand Slam champion has also been handed a Wimbledon singles wild card. The 40-year-old made a tearful exit in the first round of Wimbledon 12 months ago after retiring during the first set due to a leg injury, and doubts have been growing about whether she would return. But on Tuesday, yesterday, Williams posted on Instagram, SW Serena Williams and Serena Williams 19. It's a date 2022. See you there. And this is where I draw the curtains on Sports Minutes Live on HSTV. My name once again is Precious Azuma. Healthy morning still continues.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pru Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
When the world is out of balance and is slipping towards disaster, only a desperate voyage.
Years before now, I traveled to the land of the spirits for powers. It is impossible for anyone who bears human blood to live amongst the spirits. Blood-feeding demons could have devoured you.
Across oceans of time and space, to the limits of the imagination, will lead to the secret power that can restore harmony.
Anano, wait there. We didn't come with the back up. Kumoji. Asemi, me won't make a and then
why you say now, did you know? And I won't me by Pribema. Now, who bet me by Brianna?
Welcome back. You're watching Healthy Morning Live here on Hstv, and this segment is Stay Alive. My name is Stephanie Ejojina Manyana, and like we told you earlier on Monday yesterday, and today is Father's Day on Sunday, and we are dedicating the week to talk about men's health, everything men. And on this segment, we're going to have a conversation with Dr. Michael Ewa. He's a dentist, and we're going to talk about oral health in men, tips for maintaining a beautiful smile, tips for maintaining a beautiful smile, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So yes, I have Dr. Wa. Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
It's been so long. I'm good.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
Long. I'm doing great.
Okay, how are the kids? I see you like having fun with kids.
Yes.
Is it deliberate? Or it's a natural, attitude or something?
It's a natural attitude.
It's natural. I see. Happy Father's Day in advance, too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, God bless you so much, and keep doing what you do for we the kids.
Definitely.
But I want to find out a little bit about you as a dentist. Did you always want to be one?
Yes.
You always wanted to be
one. Yes, I was just be in the health field. But after shadowing some few dentists around, I felt that dentistry was the ideal for me.
Okay. And how long does it take for one to pass out as a dentist?
6 years.
6 years. Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys are good school. Interesting. And having fun with the kids is deliberate. I see. Okay, there were some facts I gathered yesterday about differences between men and women's oral health. In as much as we're talking about just the men, I want us to talk about it. Sure. One of them says women brush more than men. Would you debunk the statement, or true?
This statement, we need some statistics to back it up. However, maybe they may want to support the fact that women brush more than men, because women tend to take very good care of their bodies compared to men.
Yeah. Another one says men put themselves at more risk than women, because the research says that it's a lot of men we see out there smoking, getting involved in the usage of the tobacco products, the intake of alcohol and all of that. So it poses them to be at a higher risk when it comes to poor oral health.
I think with that one, it will also depend on the territory at which this information is gathered, because you go to certain countries like UK, US, you have women being equally predisposed to poor oral health, because they also smoke a lot and take a lot of alcohol. But maybe in the African setting, maybe you may probably see that the men do that more.
The men do that more. Right. And I think the other one I have, yes, is men experience more tooth trauma because they actually collide with each other and they are more involved in activities like, that require strength, like the sports, the football, the rugby, the boxing. So they are, do experience the tooth trauma more of that. And
that could be plausible because you have men engaged in most of the contact sports like basketball and football, but even with that, there are certain things that we put in place so they don't experience such trauma. What we call the mouth guard, something that you fit in your mouth so that engage in contact sports. You don't have that, but you could also have people in the construction works also having a bit of trauma, carrying cement and all those things. They're too careful, they may have some trauma in their face.
Okay. So, Doc, with all of these that men go through when it comes to tooth decay, poor oral health, tooth trauma, and all of that, is it ever too late to save the teeth?
Oh, it's not too late to save the teeth. There's something that can be done at every point in time before it gets to the terminal stage.
Is there any correlation between gender and dental health?
Gender and dental health, yes, there's some correlation. For example, when it comes to women, especially pregnant women, during the period at which you're pregnant, there's a bit of some hormonal imbalances. The progesterone and the estrogen are at different levels. So sometimes the plaque or the germs that form in their mouth, their gums react to that worse than a lady who's not pregnant. And in such cases, the gums that support the teeth now start to get swollen and all of that. So they are predisposed to some few dental problems during that period.
How about the men?
With regards to men, probably the habits that they partake in, as you said earlier, smoking, alcoholism, and all could predispose them to poor oral health. For instance, alcohol and smoking are precursors to oral cancer.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Let's talk about some common oral problems in men. Oral problems in men alone.
So the first I would say is dental caries. That's tooth decay. It's one of
tooth decay.
It's the number one dental issue, even for both men and women, where the germs in your mouth feed on the sugary residues. That's the refined sugars that we take. And in the process of feeding on these sugars, they produce acids as a byproduct. So it's the acids that now start to cause cavities in the tooth, start to weaken the structure of the tooth, starting from the outer layer, which we call the enamel. It moves to the second layer, which we call the dentine, and then moves to the innermost layer, which we call the pulp. And at that point, you realize that the individual cannot sleep at night and can also not chew properly in that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll say dental caries is the number one.
And what brings about that?
So dental caries, it's as a result of the germs in your mouth feeding on sugary residues in your mouth. So the main reason why we ask that you brush twice daily, so that you don't have any accumulation of sugary residues for the germs in your mouth to feed on that to cause the acids.
So it looks like the germs stay in the mouth, but once you brush, they go away.
Yes, it reduces the bacterial load and also the sugary residues to also reduce.
Okay. I think I get this perfectly well. So it's one common oral problem in men, dental caries. Another oral problem.
The second one I would mention is periodontal disease. So when I say periodontal disease or periodontium, what it means is that they are the structures that hold the teeth in place in our mouth. So you realize that our teeth are not hanging in air. We have the gum supporting the tooth. We have what we call the bone also supporting the tooth, and we have something we call the periodontal ligament. For instance, in our legs and our arms, we have ligaments that help in the movement of our hands and then our feet. So in the mouth too, we have similar ligaments, but these ligaments are micro millimeters. They're very, very tiny. They hold the tooth to the bone and also the tooth to some part of the gum. So if there's any problem that affects any of these structures that I mentioned, the tooth now becomes loose in the mouth, or the adult tooth becomes loose in the mouth. So certain things that can predispose you to periodontal disease include smoking, include excessive alcohol intake, include let's say plaque. When you have a lot of germs in your mouth that later harden up to form tartar or cartilage, those yellowish greenish things you see now in people's mouth. Those can also predispose them to periodontal disease. And you also have some also being genetic. So maybe your parents had some form of periodontal disease. Sometimes it can be passed on to the subsequent generations or offsprings.
Okay. Talking about the alcohol, I think I get with the intake of the tobacco, the usage of the tobacco products. I think I get it because of the color of it and the chemicals in there. Maybe you can change the coloring of your teeth. But with the alcohol, what exactly does it do to the teeth?
Okay, so in terms of alcohol, some of the byproducts produced by alcohol sometimes damage the teeth, and in the sense that some are also absorbed into the lining of the mouth, which we call the mucosa. Once they get absorbed into the cells, they bring about certain problems in the DNA in the mouth, and if you're not too careful, you're predisposed to oral cancer.
I get it. Okay, so we've spoken about what you just said, one of the oral problems, and then we've discussed the dental caries as well. So what other oral problem do we have in men?
Another oral problem that I would want is worth mentioning is bad breath, halitosis.
Okay.
Yeah, so halitosis is an unpleasant mouth odor. So with that, in terms of the causes, we have the causes that are from the mouth and the causes outside the mouth. Causes within the mouth would be about, let's say, 90%, and causes outside the mouth would be 10%. So causes within the mouth, if you have a poor oral hygiene, you don't brush properly, you have gum disease, there's decay, there's tonsillitis, these things can be disposed you to halitosis. And the remaining 10% outside the mouth could be probably have a nasal obstruction, something obstructing an obstruction in your nose, chronic sinusitis. There are these airfield cavities or chambers next to the nose. Once they're inflamed, they are predisposed to bad breath. You can have throat cancers, gastric ulcer, liver disease, kidney disease, lung cancer. All these things are the remaining 10% that can bring about bad breath. So halitosis is one of the things that are also seen.
But waking up in the morning and having bad breath, is that not supposed to be natural?
Yeah, so that type of bad breath, we call it the physiologic type of bad breath, meaning these are causes that can be rectified once you actually deal with it. So they are transient, they are not there for a long time. So halitosis is more or less like a chronic thing, something that has been persistent for a long time. But waking up in the morning, it's normal, because when you sleep the night before, your mouth is closed for a longer period of time. There's inadequate saliva washing down your mouth. So once your mouth becomes dry, you're automatically predisposed to bad breath. And even taking alcohol, if you take alcohol, you have a bit of bad breath, but once you stop, the bad breath also subsides.
Okay. So these are some of the causes of the halitosis.
Yes.
So what are you supposed to do when you realize that the bad breath is staying for long and all of that?
Well, once you notice that the bad breath is staying for long, you ideally should visit your dentist so that the causes are assessed to see, maybe make a checklist to find out if each of these things that we suspect it could be are not what is causing it, and then we help you out with it.
But you mentioned one other cause of the halitosis is not being able to brush properly.
Yes.
So it means we have a appropriate way to brush.
Yes.
But talking about the brushes that we buy on the markets, we have ones with hard bristles, ones with soft bristles, and we have the perception that once it's hard and then you scrub so well, then it's going to make it whiter, you're going to have good breath and all of that. Is that the particular bristles we should go out for to use in brushing our teeth?
Great question. I beg to differ with that notion that the hard bristled brush is ideal for the teeth, because using a hard bristled brush, you tend to damage the outer protective layer of your teeth, which we call the enamel. And you can also scrub away your gums, as in you push the level of your gums away from the teeth and exposing the roots of your teeth, and this can actually bring about sensitivity in your mouth. So the hard bristled brush is not ideal. If you're able to get a soft or the medium bristled brush, I think it'll go a long way.
And the soft ones, do they work? Because you realize that's as in
you see, once you start with a hard bristled brush and now switching to a soft brush, it takes a bit of time to adapt to it, because one is not used to that. So even since childhood, you are not used to using a soft bristled brush. If it's a hard one, and all of a sudden you're asked switch to a soft one. You may not be too familiar with it, but I feel the soft one does a very good job taking all the stains. But if you realize that there are certain stains, or maybe you've had a build-up of tartar or calculus in your mouth, those are the hardened yellowish greenish things that form in your teeth. That's the brush cannot remove. That you need to see the dentist to have a procedure we call scaling and polishing done to remove these hardened deposits from your teeth. That one, no matter the texture of the bristles of your brush, it wouldn't remove it. So that you need to visit the dentist to have that cleaned every 6 months.
Okay, interesting. I would want to remind viewers that you can send your WhatsApp messages via the WhatsApp number at the right hand side of your screen. We are talking about oral health in men. Like we told you, we are dedicating this week for men, discussing men, everything about men. And of course, their life is health and safety. So we are talking about oral health in men, and we're going to give out tips to maintain a confidence boosting smile. Oral health in men, and tips to maintain a confidence boosting smile. So you can send your comments, your thoughts, your suggestions, and your questions via the WhatsApp number at the right hand side of your screen. And very soon we're going to activate the phone line so you can call as well and then ask your questions. And I've been joined in the studio by dentist, this is Dr. Michael Ewa. Doc, let's still on the brushing. I want to shift away from the toothbrush and go to the traditional chewing sponge. The older men in our communities, we see them waking up and then they use the, those ones. Even sometimes our mothers tell we the children at home to use that and all of that. Is that also a good way to brush the teeth, a good product to use in brushing the teeth?
Okay, so the chewing stick and the plantain stalk, those are the rudimentary ways of maintaining a good oral hygiene when the toothbrush was not invented. So with that, it's able to take off some of the germs and stains from the teeth, but they are not as effective as using the toothbrush, yes, and then the fluoride containing toothpaste to brush the teeth. So I wouldn't debunk the fact that it doesn't work. It works, but it's not as effective as using the toothbrush.
But I've realized that when you take in the traditional chewing sponge, you get to bring out a lot of phlegms, you bring that out, that kind of saliva and all of that. It comes out more than you're using the normal toothbrush. Why is that so?
When it comes to the structure of the mouth or some of the physiologic things that happen in your mouth, once the brain detects that you're chewing on something, it stimulates the salivary glands to produce saliva. It wouldn't be too surprising that one will salivate a lot when using the chewing stick. For instance, when chewing gum, one of the reasons why we even suggest that people chew gum is to prevent dry mouth. So the act of chewing gum stimulates the salivary glands to produce more saliva to lubricate the mouth. Unlike using the toothbrush where you're not chewing it, the chewing stick, you chew and then there's a lot of saliva in your mouth.
And with our older men at home, our grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they also feel like, they are old enough, they do not want to even use a traditional toothbrush or even a normal toothbrush, the traditional chewing sponge or even a normal toothbrush, so they just do not do anything at all. Is that healthy?
It's not healthy. You'd be predisposed to the periodontal disease that I mentioned. So with that, if the supporting structures of your teeth become loose, you realize that your teeth also start becoming mobile, and then you lose your teeth. Ideally, you should have all your teeth in place, even in old age. But once certain things come their way, for instance, periodontal disease, that's when you start to lose your teeth at old age.
So they still have to, brushing, even though they're at old age and they're old ages, they still have to brush. Grandfathers at home, please brush. Okay, let's go back to the toothbrush. This is the normal one we see on the markets that we buy. But I've actually seen that we have electric toothbrushes on the markets as well. As a dentist, do you think we should also use that?
Certainly, the electric powered toothbrush is also an option for keeping a good oral hygiene. With that, if you have limited manual dexterity, you should be able to use the electric powered one, because you don't do the back and forth brushing motion with the electric.
What's the back and forth brushing motion?
As in, you don't have to move the brush as much as you'd move the manual toothbrush, because with the electric powered toothbrush, it's just a matter of placing it along the teeth and then just moving it from the back all the way to the front. So you don't have to scrap your teeth when it comes to using the electric powered toothbrush.
So that's also another good option we can fall out on.
Yes, it does all the job for you.
So how long am I supposed to brush without the electric, but I'm using the manual toothbrush? How many minutes should my brushing take?
So for both the electric powered toothbrush and the manual toothbrush, you should take about 2 minutes.
2 minutes to brush.
2 minutes to brush.
Okay. let's assume I don't know how to brush, and let's tell our men out there, those who cannot brush. I see that we have this there, so we can demonstrate to them how we can brush. And I see we have the dental floss.
Yes.
So you're going to teach us how to floss as well, and then that's a tongue scraper. Yes. Right. So this is your teeth at home. You're going to learn how to brush, and Dr. Michael Lewa is saying that you need to use 2 minutes to brush, whether you're using the manual or the electric toothbrush. 2 minutes to brush your teeth.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So when you're using the brush and you have your toothpaste on it, one thing you should know.
But we should go out for the soft bristles, right?
Yes, the soft bristle brush. One thing you should know is that you don't have to spread the toothpaste off all the way from the front to the back.
Oh, really?
Most people think that depending on the length of your brush, that's when you press the toothpaste on it. But I feel it's a waste actually, because ideally, if you have something like a pea size, or pea size of the toothpaste, that should be adequate to brush your teeth. But you see in commercials that they spread it all the way from the front to the back, so we're also obliged to do the same.
We are thinking that, you know, the more toothpaste you use, the stronger your teeth.
And the issue too is that if you use a lot of toothpaste, what happens is that your mouth foams a lot, and when your mouth foams a lot, you don't get the opportunity to brush all your teeth properly, because once the foam comes, you feel that you're done brushing. So you don't need that much. Just a pea size is fine.
I see.
So when you're brushing your teeth, what happens is that some people tend to brush back and forth like this, others tend to brush up and down like this. Both are not bad, but they are not too ideal. The reason being that you brushing back and forth like this, what happens is that you cause these tiny cavities at the top parts of your teeth. We call them cervical abrasions, especially if you're using a hard bristled brush. You tend to cause tiny crevices at the top parts of the teeth when you're using this type of motion over a period of time. And if you do the up and down motion, what happens is that you push the gums away from the teeth, exposing the roots of your teeth, especially if you're using a hard bristled toothbrush, and that also brings about sensitivity of your teeth when you're taking cold water or something sweet. So ideally, when you bring your teeth together, what you should do is that you turn the brush a little bit upwards towards the gum area, and then you brush in circles like this. So not straight like this, but tilt it a little bit like this. So it's like it's lying on the tooth and lying a little bit on the gums.
Okay, so it looks like you're using just that layer of the bristles to brush, not everything.
Yes, so not really like this, but tilting it like this. If you want technical, I'll say about an angle of 45 degrees.
Okay.
To the tooth. So something like this, and then you try to brush this.
So is the whole idea to prevent the bristles from touching the gum?
No, so the whole idea is to take out some of the germs that form underneath the gum.
Okay.
Yeah, because right on the interface between the tooth and the gum, you have something like a small space there, and you have a lot of food debris accumulating there, causing gum disease. So you brushing, tilting it this way, you're able to clean all those areas properly with your soft bristle toothbrush. So you do that all the way to the back. You tilt it downwards to on the lower teeth, and you also do that same motion. So it's like you're creating these short circular strokes on the teeth when you have it this way. When you're done with the front side of the teeth, you open your mouth.
Okay, so when you're done with this side, you do the same for the other side?
For the left side too as well, yes. And when it comes to the innermost parts of the teeth, you need to brush those areas. So let me turn this way.
Oh, that's a tongue.
That's a tongue, yes. So behind your teeth, those areas are very important. You don't brush on them like this, no. You place the brush this way and you flick it up. This way.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if there's anything
I bet you we have all been brushing wrongly. We all have.
So you try to flick those areas in case there's anything behind the teeth. You try to flick it that way.
And are you sure the brush with the soft bristles is going to bring that out?
Yes, it will. It's going to clean behind your teeth. And then you do the same thing too for the ones at the top.
Oh, I see.
So it's like you're flicking out. And then the surfaces behind the front teeth too.
Yes.
Those areas are important. You angulate the brush vertically
this
like
way.
Yes, and then you brush on them like this.
Wow.
So you're cleaning behind those areas. Same for the top. You angulate it vertically.
This new tutorials, dog, me, I'm going to use like 15 minutes to brush.
You brush on it this way like this. And then the chewing surfaces of your teeth are also very important. You place a brush on them and you brush on it like how you brush normally. Like this. So this one you can use a scrub method to brush it. The top two as well. You brush on it normally like this. And then last but not the least, the tongue. The tongue is very important.
Yes.
You need to brush the tongue. So when it comes to brushing the tongue, what I noticed that most people do it haphazardly. They use any form of motion on the tongue to
we're just scrapping.
But ideally, the aim is to push the germs away from the tongue.
Okay.
So you don't do it back and forth like this, or else you're just pushing germs from the front to the back.
To the back. Okay.
So what you do is that you place the brush at the back where you feel you're comfortable, and then you push to the front. So you take the brush to your back and then you push to the front. So that's to remove all the germs from your mouth or any of the tongue coatings that can cause bad breath. You use a brush to take it out. But there are certain brushes that have this gummy pad at the back. There's this texture at the back of the toothbrush that can also be used to clean the tongue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when you're done with the brush, you can turn the back and also use it. But this one is flat, so you don't have that. But some have these tiny dots at the back. It's actually for the tongue. So also same motion from back to front. But ideally, if you're able to get this, we call this the tongue scraper.
Tongue scraper.
Yes,
okay.
and apart from the tongue scraper, too, you have certain brushes for the tongue. We call it the tongue brush. So it's similar to this, but it has certain tiny projections coming out from the front. It's also used to clean the tongue. So when you're done using the toothbrush to clean the tongue, you use the tongue scraper to scrape the coatings off the tongue.
Okay, so you turn it that way. Okay.
Yes, this way. So you use this part to scrape back to front. This way.
So you use this without the toothbrush, right?
Ideally, if you can use the tool, it's quite good because it's going to scrape off the coatings that the brush dislodged from the tongue. So we use that to scrape the tongue, yes. And also, when you're done brushing and then
Doc, and you're saying we are doing all this in 2 minutes.
Oh no, so the brushing of the teeth is 2 minutes.
Yes. This is me, I use 5 minutes.
Oh, you can use as many minutes as you want for the tongue scraper, just to take off the coating off your tongue. And also, it's very important that you floss your teeth. Yes, so the floss, there are two types. This is what we call the floss pick.
But Doc, are you to use this tongue scraper after you've washed your mouth after brushing, or once you still have the foam in your mouth, you are still using the tongue scraper?
Once you have the foam in your mouth, a little bit of foam, you can use the brush to clean the tongue and also use the tongue scraper to scrape the tongue.
Okay. Yes. Okay, but you have to wash before you use the floss.
So with the floss, you can use it before brushing your teeth, or you can use it after brushing your teeth.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but some there's been a lot of, I feel like there are two schools of thought. People feel that it's best you floss before you brush because the floss will remove the food stuck
particles
in between your teeth, so that if you're using the brush, the fluoride in the toothpaste can enter those pieces that were previously lodged with the food. So you can do that before or after, but you should be able to do it well. Yes, so there are two types. There's this that we call the floss pick, and there's one that we call the regular floss. The regular floss is
that
a long
more like
thread.
the thread,
exactly,
and you have to hold them to just
yes. So that one you wrap it. You take about 18 inches, wrap it along your middle fingers, and you use your thumb and your index finger to guide it in between the teeth to remove the food debris from the teeth. And if you're using this type that we call the floss pick, what you do is that these ones don't have spaces in between the teeth, so you can't go in. But the idea is to push it down in between two teeth, and once it goes down in between the two teeth, the thread-like part is supposed to wrap around one surface of the tooth. So what people do is that they just press it in and then they bring it out. If you do that, you may injure the gums below. So the idea is to push it down gradually. Once it gets in between the teeth, let it wrap one surface. So let me demonstrate with my fingers. So if these are two teeth together, you don't just go in and come out like this. You hurt yourself. So you go in like this, let it touch the inner surface of this tooth, and then you drag it out. Goes in again, a little bit beneath the gum line, let it touch this inner surface, and you drag it out. So you're cleaning the two surfaces in one space. So there's one space, however, there are two surfaces in between the teeth. So those are the areas that you're using your dental floss to clean.
Okay.
Yeah, so you should do that for all your teeth.
For all of that. And the dental floss, is it disposable? Once I use, should I throw away?
Definitely.
I can't repeat after using one.
No. Once you're done using it, you need to throw it away. And you may even realize that once you're using one to clean your teeth, you may even need about 2 or 3, because you realize that maybe it gets stained with some of the food debris that you can't put in back into your teeth. So you have to grab another one and then continue using it. And once you start flossing and you realize that you are bleeding, you shouldn't stop flossing. Some people feel that, oh, they floss 2 or 3 times and they are bleeding. So bleeding is one of the signs of gum disease. That's gingivitis. So that means that there's a lot of germs lodged in between your teeth. That should show you that you should be flossing more often so that your gums become healthy. Healthy gums ideally shouldn't bleed.
Okay.
And one other thing that could cause your gums to bleed will be that maybe you're flossing too hard. You're pushing the floss too deep into your gums. That could cause your gums to bleed.
Okay. So after brushing and all of that, what temperature of water should I use to clean?
Oh, you can use any temperature of water. To clean, yes.
Chilled water.
Oh,
I can't go
chilled
for
water.
That. Because I've seen people, there's no water and they just go to the fridge, just get a sachet and then they brush with that. Is that okay?
That wouldn't really cause any major
I see.
in the mouth.
Okay. Interesting. I've been told I need to wrap up in 2 minutes, even though I'm not done with my questions. But generally, tips for maintaining a beautiful smile for men out there so that they can celebrate their Father's Day.
So first thing I would suggest would be to cut down on the sugar intake. Because apart from it having any detrimental effects in the mouth, it could also cause diabetes or worsen somebody's diabetes that they have already. I would also suggest that they try to visit the dentist often, at least once every 6 months. You should be able to visit the dentist. Brush your teeth twice daily for 2 minutes with a soft bristle toothbrush. You use a fluoride containing toothpaste. You brush your tongue. You floss once every single day. And that will go a long way to help you.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Kindly give us your contact details and then we'll wrap up from here.
Great. So in case you want to contact me, my Instagram handle is Dr. Iwa. That's DR_AWA on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And in case you'd want to contact me, my number is 0267 000 320.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor, for passing by. I think we should have a part 2 of this, oral health and med. So we're going to wrap up on this segment. My name is Stephanie Georgina Manyana. We're going to take a short breather, and then when we come back, William Diego Parker Bainey will be on with Apostle Kusi Thomas Abia. I see him armored behind me. We'll be back.
Is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Cote d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only 2 privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for you. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
Welcome back to Healthy Morning live on Hstv, and just gone by was Stay Alive with Stephanie and Dr. Wu teaching about oral health, and I'm sure you learn how to properly take care of your oral health, especially your teeth and your gums, and as well as your tongue also. All right, so it's time for us to focus our lenses on something quite critical. On Sunday, we keep telling you we are celebrating fathers. Worldwide, it's Father's Day, and for that reason the entire week is dedicated to our fathers. Every discussion we're having has to do something to do with fathers, and then so we're going to have a conversation on the role of fathers, especially for, let's take it on a national level, for national development. How does a father's role, both home, away from home, the church, wherever else, impact the world, basically? So that's what we're going to have a conversation on, and to help us do that, I'm going to have the man, the person, or the founder of the church named as Eternal Life International Ministry at Praku Estate near Bokobi, and then he happens to be a lecturer as well as a counselor, and also doubles as a security analyst. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, dear.
Welcome to the show once again.
Oh, no, thank you, sir. That was a very insightful introduction.
My pleasure. Good to have you again. Since the last time we had a conversation, we're back again. And this time around, we want to focus more on men. And speaking of which, let me announce to you that entire week we are asking you to send us a video, just a short video, about 30 seconds video, about any father figure in your life. Anybody who has played a fatherly role in your life and you want to appreciate, you can do that. Just send a video to us on our WhatsApp line. It's on your screen, right hand corner. It's in blue. Just send your message or whatever message that you have in a video form, about 30 seconds or 1 minute maximum. Just send it to us, and then we play it in between, and also put it all together on Sunday and play it all to our fathers out there who you want to celebrate. It doesn't necessarily need to be your own father. It could be a spiritual father or any kind of mentor that you have in your life that plays a fatherly role in your life. All right, so back to the conversation. Fathers. I want to talk about father. Who is a father, by the way?
Yeah, okay. Let me say a very good morning to cherished viewers of Hstv. And I like the statement you just made, fatherly role. You understand? You see, to be a father is not, or you don't become a father just by the mere father you give him birth. It's a role you need to play. You must even play that role before even you marry. You see, I think
you said something similar about the woman the last time.
Yes, yes. So this is how God designed us. There are three basic rules for every man on earth. And I tell people, anytime you see problem in people's marriages where, I mean, the woman is blaming the man, when you analyze it, you see clearly that one of the fundamental rules of the man is broken. Sometimes you can even check, and 2 or 3 are all not functioning well. So the first rule for everyone...
He always has to be the man.
And I'm saying that where the problem is coming from the man.
Okay.
You see, women have roles to play, men have roles. So where you see a woman or a wife complaining about the husband or children complaining about their daddy, you see clearly that an aspect of his role is not functioning.
Okay.
Some can be one function, some can be 2, others can be all the 3. 3 basic. Okay. So it means that if men will function well, we are going to have a very, better society, because in the sense that, one, let me quickly take it from this angle.
Okay.
Every man must be a father before you marry. So it means fatherhood has nothing to do with children.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with you giving birth or let's say impregnating a woman. No, it's an understanding you must have about yourself. So what it means is that to be a father means you have an understanding that you are a source. The word father means Abba, and Abba means source. Which means everything comes from you. What it means that when you have this understanding as a man, as the if you see yourself as a father now, not because you have children, but because you understand you're a father, what it means that you have a mandate to provide, you have a mandate to protect, you have a mandate to promote. 3 basic things under fatherhood.
So the 3 P's.
Yes.
Provide, protect,
and promote. So any father or anybody who can call himself a father is the one who has understanding anyone around me. So if I'm working at Hstv here, anyone around me, my job or my duty for father is a responsibility. It's a responsibility you have towards the people around you. So if it's your home, the responsibility you have towards the people in your home, which includes your wife, your children, any other person. If it's the job or the office, the people around you. What it means, my duty is to provide. And they start from providing life. So which means anyone with understanding or seeing himself as a father means I have no business destroying the life of anybody. I have no...
Okay, in the explanation of the provide, please explain.
That's a provide. Provision. Yeah, provision means I have to provide anything that will sustain life. Which means... Anything that will sustain life. Which means, it's not from... You see, we have people who even backbite people, who say all kinds of things, lie against people for them to lose their livelihood. That's an example that you're not a father. Fathers don't destroy people.
Okay.
No, they provide. So which means that even if I see that what Diego is doing here will cause problem for him, I come close to you and see how I can help you, how I can put you on your feet. That is fatherly role. You are there to provide life for people. That's why you see somebody say, look, had it not been this guy, I would have been sacked from my job. Had it not been this guy, I wouldn't have been able to contribute to my education. Why? Because the person saw that, look, you are lacking something, and I'm there to support you. That's the father.
So the provision, not necessarily about giving.
No, it can be encouraging, like I said, provision of life. So anything that will sustain life. You know, people can even commit suicide because they don't even have. They are so depressed. They don't have anyone they can confine in. If you're a father in any society, you are there to provide life, which means you make yourself available that people can come to you, speak to you, because they know that whatever they are discussing with you will not end up in the ears of the public. A father don't gossip, a father don't lie about people. So today we have many men who have destroyed their role as a father. Because in their mind, just father is towards my children. You know, just like I like the statement you made. You said you can send a message about anyone who has played a fatherly role in your life. Very powerful. Which means it's not about your biological father alone.
Exactly.
But any man who has shown, who has done something that you can confidently say, this man qualifies to be called a father.
Okay, so let's move away from the provide. Let's look at the promote.
The next one is promote. So a father always advances people. So you want to bring it to marriage. That's why I tell people. So most of the time when women come to complain about their husbands, and you see that there are some women who can even marry a man, and they tell you, I was better off before marriage. The man has drained him from physical appearance to emotional. You are not a father. Now watch it. You see, when God created a man, he gave his word, and he made a very profound statement. He said, cultivate. That's what God told the man. The word cultivate means to bring out the best. Which means if you're a father, you have an understanding that whatever that counts around me, I must bring the best out of the person. Yes. So when you have this understanding, that's why you see God never gave us tables. He gave us tree. It takes this father to bring the tables out of trees. The cameras you see, they're all product from a raw material. That powerful statement God made was to bring out our fatherhood. Alone, anything that counts around. So you see, when you're a father, that's the time if you can even be in school, JSS, and hear people making stories or saying things about the Lord. This guy has really helped me. When I was school, I was so stubborn, I was not learning. But since this guy came into my life, the way he was telling on me, helping me, people are giving testimonies all about you, that means there's something in you which
so
is
it should be more
which
like
are evident of your fatherhood.
It should be a platform for people to
that is it.
stand on to advance.
That is it. You are there to promote. So if people around you, you see their life not advancing, they know that there's something wrong with you. Anybody that comes around you must see promotion in his life. That
Every
means
father should have that trait.
Like I said, you don't need to grow as a man.
Okay.
This is how God created us to be.
Okay.
So you see a small boy, he knows how to advise people, he knows how to encourage people, he knows how to motivate people to do things. He's exhibiting his fatherly role. He's always there to make sure that something that you can't even identify about yourself, he's the one to tell Charlie, you know you can do this.
Okay.
That's why I tell people, see, this role does not just come. That's why God gave his word to the man. What it means, you must have a better understanding of life. Are you getting it? Yeah. There are many people who don't understand life. So it means to empower your fatherhood, it means you must understand life and how to be a blessing to people.
But in a teen age, how do you really understand life? You've not had much experiences, for instance. You cited an example where even if you're in GSS or some SS, and somebody should be able to say that, okay, this guy was able to help me do better. At that level of being a platform, you don't understand much about life, though you might have exhibited that kind of trait to help somebody.
If I use myself as an example, I was just about 13, 15 years where I led a lot of people to Christ. Yeah, just one was it. There was just some few months ago, a lady from Egypt called me. She's a Ghanaian, but she called me, was reminding me how I was able to convince her to leave her boyfriend, stop certain things, give her life to Christ, and how it has helped her. So what I'm saying is that you don't need to grow.
Okay.
It's an understanding. So that this person said, if I had not met this guy, but I don't know where, because the kind of life I was leading, I don't know where my life would have ended.
In effect, if you don't have a testimony of such in your life,
most people don't have it because they don't know. Like I said, we don't understand how God built us. He built us to function as fathers. The moment you see yourself as a man, you are supposed to function as a father. So when you don't learn it, the problem is when you don't learn it now, you can give birth and still not be a father to your children. You see, people assume that the moment I give birth, then I can just transit. Boom, every time a father. No.
Where should a testimony come from? Should it be verbal, people say it to you,
so
or
now
they might say it to somebody?
So like just as I said, it's an understanding you have that, look, anybody who comes around me must see improvement in his or her life. What you tell anybody, if I should
conscious effort.
If that is your personal understanding of it. So if I should work with Diego within 3-4 days, I have to assess Diego and see that, look, what are the things that Diego is doing which will not help him? Okay. Now go back and find out the solution. You are not there to attack the person. You are there to build the person. I tell people, communication must build relationship, but not to destroy. So not to there to insult them and say, this is not helping. No. Why should he stop? What are the effects? You see, you need to build yourself. All that we are saying is a mental thing. Yeah. Fatherhood, this role we are talking about, it's a mental thing, psychological. This understanding you have. So if I'm working with you, that's what I say, show me your friend and I'll show your character. Anything about you defines me. So if I'm working with you and a certain characters, which tomorrow I will not be happy for them to use it to describe me, my duty is to add that to you, not to subtract from you, to make you a better person. So how do I help Diego? That's where you begin to find a way, to speak to him, to admonish him, to help him. When you get to that, you are executing your fatherly role. There are some men today who are fathers that biologically they can't even talk to their children. They can't even sit their children down because it's just about do what I want to do. No, when you have a father, you build your psyche, you build your psychological elements to understand that everybody does things with understanding. There's a reason you do what you do. So for me to change you, I need a better, higher knowledge to convince you to stop what you're doing.
Okay, let's move on to the third one, which has to do with protect.
Protect, that's it. So you have that mandate that my duty is to protect you. So that for instance, you're at work, you see people who are like some kind of informants. They come around you and they will be sending information to your bosses just to create confusion or for you to lose your job. You may think it's just funny. No, you've destroyed your fatherly role. A father protects. That's why you can even go around those days when you were working in corporate environment, you go and they ask you questions and you are there to defend the person. Meanwhile, when you leave your boss, please come to us, show you A, B, C, D, work on it. If not, because questions are coming. But you don't go behind people to destroy people. When you put it biologically, today some fathers are maltreating their wife. You see, recently when this Osinachi issue came, I was on prayer. I told the Lord, it's an evidence this man was never a father, because your duty is to protect things around you. So it's very difficult for a father to beat the wife or the children, or to molest them, or to cause pain. No, fathers don't do that.
Let me give you a case in scenario. Just recently, I'm sure you might have heard about the Achimota Rastafarian kids who were supposed to be admitted. One of them, Tyrone, his father, had an issue with him, and they were home, and the father, apparently, per the story he told, held his hand, and the boy used something to scrap him. Then he started making a video telling the whole world about how difficult the boy is to deal with. He's arrogant, he's this, is that, is that. What is wrong with that father?
Yeah. So the moment I watched it, I think I watched it with my wife, and we were home and we were watching. I told him, no, this man, when you analyze him, his fatherly role is down. In fact, almost all the statements he made, if you understand the rules I'm going to talk about, you know that this man was completely zero. He wasn't a father, he wasn't a husband, and he wasn't even a priest. These are the three rules. So he made a statement about the boy. Just from there, he moved to talk about the wife, that the wife is even controlling. They see that this man is not even a husband in the house.
Could that be based on his background?
Yeah, you see, there are two things that impact on our behavior. One, we call it nature. The nature speaks of the natural and the things that God built in you. You understand? So your personality is one. Then you have the nature. Nature talks about your mindset, the kind of formation you pick from the environment, everything you interact with impact on you. So from the television you are watching, the kind of things you are hearing from outside, everything.
What your parents
That's why there are people who never thought they would be their wife until a friend can say, you there, creating that impression that to prove yourself as a man means slapping your wife to shut her up. So it's which this information came from an outside environment. That's nature. And I tell people, you see, the unfortunate thing, that's another distraction altogether. The unfortunate thing is that you can change the mindset, that's the nature, but you can't change the nature, which is the personality. Personality don't change, but the mindset can change. So for this man, from where I sit, you can't just say this or that. It can be a combination of two. Because one, when you understand the nature, so when you look at even the temperament, one of them is phlegmatic. Phlegmatic temperament are those people who are very calm people. They are very diplomatic. They don't even have to have a scarf with anybody. I'm in the passenger type. When I'm mentioning, you know what I'm doing. They don't want to. So they don't even want to. They can't even correct their own child. They are those people when you check their parenting style. They are the laissez-faire type. They are those parents when you check parenting self. We have two things that we use to examine parenting. We have the responsiveness and demandingness. That's a teaching on its own. Now the responsiveness, those are the parents those who demand high responsibility, right? They demand that high maturity from you, the child. They demand that respect from you. And responsiveness, how they also give to their children. Now the phlegmatic, they are very low on responsiveness. They are very low on demandingness, which means they can give their own rules. When you break it, they can't even punish you as a father.
So would you even blame such a person in a trait of a father if you're phlegmatic and you're not able to exhibit those 3 P's that we just talked about?
So you see, that will also link to his father, which means that's why the Bible says train up a child in the way
you should go.
The child may have, because every temperament has its own strength and weakness. That's why as a father you need to understand all these things so that you can know that, look, this trait my son is building up. I've been saying this, the word train, when you see how train moves, they hold in coaches. And where the head is moving, that's where the coaches move. So what it means that, and I'll tell people, when you don't understand the word in the way, just ask yourself, while this boy is growing up, he will become somebody's father tomorrow. He will become a husband tomorrow. He will become an employee. He will become an employer if God helps a person to build his own company. Now the question is, can this man or this boy I'm training function in these rules that in the future I know he will function? So if you understand this, then here is the case that you have to correct some of the weakness. This guy cannot even tell the person stop, or cannot tell the look, you did this, so you need to now build that into. So that's why I say the father builds, and we mentioned it. So this knowledge helps. So that I even go when I meet Diego right now, I have to be a father to you. How? When I see some of these tendencies in you, I have to now help you to understand that, look, in life, it's not just about you. You have to be a blessing unto others. So how do you impart your children if you cannot even be bold enough to believe in certain principles that, look, this thing is wrong and I'll not sit here for you to do it. To ensure that the right thing is done at all times. With the phlegmatic, like I said, they have high this thing for friendship, and so they don't want to offend people.
Yeah,
there are those people who can even work and bring their salary to you, and they will be there 100 years. The Jonathan type, they can even give their friendship role to you. Yes, and so I love you, you're a good man, you take it. That it's a temperament. Are you getting it? So that was it. So you need to understand.
We'll find cases where, for instance, I give birth to a child who is phlegmatic, and probably even me, I'm the same character also. So having to know the roles that the father should play will not impact my child. I'm sure, for instance, the analogy we just made about the Rastafarian case father, he didn't also probably get that kind of support in terms of tutoring or being nurtured to be the father he's supposed to be, coupled with the fact that his nature happens to be phlegmatic also, and for that reason he didn't get that support to also impact that into the child.
I always say
at that point, what do you do as a father?
I always say that God is wise. God is very, very wise. You see, do you know why God in His own wisdom ensure that for us to bring children out, it has to take marriage? The idea is that you are bringing somebody, and when you look at the profile statement God made, I'm bringing a helper. This is where we have a big issue, where our culture, in effect, has made some men so irresponsible to the extent that it has influenced or built up our ego. That I'm a man, and so far as I'm a man, my word is final. It's wrong. So, for instance, in life, the first thing to do is identify yourself. So I assume I identify myself as a phlegmatic. And from what I saw from the case study you just gave, the woman by her temperament is not phlegmatic. She may be either a melancholic who wants to ensure the right thing is that. And see, at the end of what is happening, the man is now making reference to the wife that the wife is not helping the situation. Why? Because she feels I'm a man and man wears my car. Meanwhile, maybe because some of the statement or the things you're doing is wrong. And you cannot even humble yourself to appreciate the Lord. That's what God brings people. See, marriage, I tell people, marriage is not to expose our weakness, but rather to complement us. So a great man is the one who identifies. If I know that I'm not eloquent, I can't speak well, but my wife is very eloquent, and we're going for a meeting. I can discuss what we want to discuss with my wife. I want to let her appreciate my mind,
like Moses and Aaron.
My mind, so that when you go there, she's going to speak my mind, and I will support her. We come home and things are, but not when you go, you want to say it, you can't say it well, and when your wife goes, shut up, I'm the man, let me talk. That's what they can appreciate their weakness. Okay, and the most dangerous man is the one who can appreciate his weakness.
All right, thank you. On that note, he says the most dangerous man is the one who can appreciate his weakness.
Who cannot appreciate because you endanger all the people around you. You are advising, you won't take it.
Indeed.
You won't have the man, let me speak, let me do because whatever can be advised, whatever you're saying is wrong. And you want people to just follow it. That can't be possible.
Unfortunately, I would have wished that we had a lengthier time to have a conversation on this. We're supposed to have you tomorrow, but of course we have some other engagement also. So my interview sort of is short-lived. I apologize for that. Hopefully we can get you again to have another conversation, even post Father's Day. Okay, so we can have a lengthy conversation on this. So don't forget, the 3 P's are very critical: provide, protect, and promote. They are very key as a father. Even before you become a father, make sure you have those 3 traits in you and become a good father, and then also help the nation at large. My name is William Jago Parker. I was here with the founder of Eternal Life International Ministry, Parakou Estate near Bokobi, a lecturer, a counselor, and a security analyst, Apostle Thomas Kusi Apia, and he joined us to have the conversation about the role of father in our society. We'll take a quick time. When we come back, JK will be ready to have a conversation with Kofi Jama. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yeah. So this is fun. Let's do this. When I come with the sauce, with Jana, my soul. Make you born till we fall. Make you born till we fall. When I come with the sauce, with Jana, my soul. My swag, that shit. And we get the fly on my chest. Let's see it. When him say cuss, you a cuss. We just wanna get it, we don't want no trouble. Munya ya, kaya dana suya tifu yebe ya mariachi. When him say cuss, you a cuss. We just wanna get it, we don't want no trouble. Munya ya, kaya dana suya tifu.
My brother, move to the top, we harder. We the grind out there. Yep, I said get it bigger all night long. All night long. Yeah, yeah. Yo, boys boys and trip boys and pulling in the Benz on yeah, we did it. Mommy from me, I don't think. Since I came, class, I'm dig it. Yeah, one thing. When they got the gang, we pulling with dig it. All and 4 and 2, say bomb by my bro. Boys and trip boys and pulling in the Benz on yeah, we did it. Mommy from me, I don't think. Since I came, class, I'm dig it. Yeah, one thing. When they got the gang, we pulling with dig it. All and 4 and 2, say bomb by my bro.
Yeah, mariachi. Unim say cuss, you cuss. We just wanna get it, we don't want no trouble. Munya ya, kaya dance, we are tifu, yeah, mariachi. Unim say cuss, you cuss. We just wanna get it, we don't want no trouble. Munya ya, kaya dance, we are tifu.
It go on rough. Street in Achama get to need the beef on a failure. Says, I said, yes, I know, but whom more than cost cookers went to me and read ya. Your friend is a cost would priest here. My jive for more fun, a could test here. We paid for attention, but Mujina tease me, when they bet to me a Lydia. We've been doing this best for a while. Once I come and rap a foul, what you manage to panty a pressure be foul. Fans are supporting me money how. So when you mean some idea to any, I saw brocha made the men sour when a time of Vienna, my swama could be. We are go send when if you are coming in. Inside, outside, a castle. No show me Air Force, crew move, bustle, my name so tussle. Still with the hustle. Sikanin komuni ma brami waso. My G's Fatima Bajama yene kama. Yepa kokwaya to tuanye shawama. Modi sama no minya isha me kama. Mi peska de bia many times on the drama.
When him say cuss, you cuss. We just wanna get it, we don't want no trouble. Munya ya, kaya dance, we are tifu, yeah, mariachi. When him say cuss, you cuss.
Man that you got to treat you bad. If you know they care for you, then girl, he done deserve you. Never mind, I'm here to love you better, yeah. Ti amo, girl, come with me, baby, let's run away. If saw me be a cool, I only be this, yeah. If I was a me in my head, my double not my share, yeah. So forget all the pain that you've been through. My love is here for you. Intimate, my baby, been said, girl, I'll be here for you. Girl, I'll be here for you. Oh, don't mind what them I say, 'cause my love is here to stay for real. It's my boy, come follow me, go. Baby girl, you know be say I like. If you know they like me, I like it. So let me pour the honey in your life. Forgetting this soon too, I'm in my lives. Girl, you are like a treasure for me, and I'm gonna make you one and only. I go to your back like I'm your bunny. Man, yeah, nah, send me who we need, man. Now me who me jiga. Oh, what a beauty, like you, Mona Lisa. Cut to the boy that make you come closer, and I'm gonna put you on my shoulders. You are my queen for real. That's why I let no one take you for granted. Remember, baby, we said one breath. Girl, I'll be here for you. Girl, I'll be here for you. Hold it down. Don't mind what them I say, 'cause my love is here to stay for real. It's my boy, come follow me, go. So here we are. Baby girl, I'm standing right outside your doorsteps with a bunch of roses and I'm screaming out.
My name
name is JK, and anytime I'm seated, we're going straight into the world of entertainment. And Steph came in with Stay Alive. We had Diego also bringing you info because we're celebrating our fathers throughout this week. And as we made mention, if you have any video of yourself, wishing your dad a happy Father's Day, just drop it to our WhatsApp numbers. In the course of time, we're going to play all these videos. So in the entertainment corner today, I have this American guy who has done so well. He's going everywhere when it comes to music right here in Ghana. I hope you're wondering who I have today as my guest. I have Derek Osei Prempe, Kofo Prempe. His name is Kofi Jama. He's my guest today on the show. Kofi, hope everything is cool.
Yeah, everything is cool.
So me too. So quickly, let's. We just want to know more about you. From Bantama coming down to Accra and everything. How has the journey been so far?
So far, so good. The downfalls, the uprisings. It's all been worth it so far. Because coming out for Bantama, it's a dream that many had, but not many are able to achieve it like how I've gotten. So it's been massive so far. Yeah.
So let's talk about your stay in Bantama, like growing up and everything.
Straight up.
The experiences and everything. Can you just give us some highlights of those moments?
Yeah. For Bantama, it's like that's where that's where I was born and bred. That's where like I was cultivated. I would say that's where I got my vibe from and everything. So the music. Bantama is like a fountain when it comes to it's like a big entertainment hub when it comes to Kumasi. Whenever there's a street jam, Bantama is where it's at, So I had a chance to see most of the big artists at a young age. Lord Kenya, Bradford, Chame Kwame, Brothers, Floating Stone. I could meet them even at street jams and stuff like that. So I picked up that passion from a young age.
Nice. Yeah. And I know you went to school with Amrado.
Yep. That's JHS.
Okay, so that's where music started or coming to
Well, before JHS, I was like miming here and there. As I said, as a young kid, I used to be at pubs listening to music and stuff like that. So I grew up on that. So at around GHS, I think that was around the time that we were trying to write stuff and stuff like that. We were trying to write our own music. Yep.
And straight up, from JHS moving to high school.
Yeah.
I know you completed in 2014.
Yeah, 2013, 2014. But I even forgot. Yeah. Crazy. It's been a long time since.
Right after high school.
Yep.
That it was that point where you were like, okay, I'm going to do full-time music.
Yep. Because the funny thing is, when I was in high school, if you be a shy, right? I wasn't frequent. I was truant.
Okay.
I'll get money for school, but I'll be in the studio recording. So around that time, I just felt later, like around the time that we completed SHS, I felt like, I have to focus on this because that's where I don't know. Like I can say this music, I didn't choose the music; it chose me.
It chose
the
you.
passion. It just took over me. So I just had to dedicate time for it. So after SS, I just dedicated my time to the studio and started working on my songs.
But we know it wasn't only music you were doing.
Yep.
At a point, I knew you were a security.
Yep.
Straight up doing port barrel, funeral service, and all that. And how were you juggling the two together?
Well, I think it's the hustle, Around after SHS, you wouldn't depend on your parents again. So you, as a man, that's the time you feel like you've grown. You have to do something for yourself. So around that time, I wasn't trying to get a job that would just take me away from the music. I wanted something that I can do alongside the music, because there are some jobs that you get into and it will take your whole time. You wouldn't even get time to record or write. So that security was good for me because it was a night shift or even a day shift. But I have time to come home and relax and just do my music. And the other Paul Bearing stuff wasn't every day. It's like Saturday, Sundays. That's when funerals happen. So that's it. So I was using that to contribute for studio fees and take care of myself while not depending on my parents and stuff and just do the music.
Nice one. So at that period when you were deciding to do music and all that, what was the response from parents? Because Charlie, you don't want to do music, the way the Ghanaian parents react and all that.
It's crazy, They had their fights with me, because I was a brilliant kid, I'm still a brilliant kid, I say. But they felt I should have been in studying like law being a doctor and stuff like that, because they felt like that's who I was gonna be, because I've been topping my class since first grade, you know. So that's crazy. So as I switched up to the music, they felt like, oh, music is for the wayward. It's for those stubborn guys, those who are not going anywhere. But I felt like there was something in it for me, you know. Yeah, and if I was in school, I wouldn't be who I am right now. So I've found myself through this music that I'm doing.
Nice one. And it's been amazing. And coming to Accra now, at what point did you move from Bantama, like settling in Accra?
Yeah, shout out to my label, that's God1 Records, like who's taking care of everything right now, you know. Through some freestyle that I did on the net once we were in Kumasi. In Kumasi, it's kind of hard for you to be discovered, you know. There are a lot of talents in Kumasi that you need to be there to see them. There's no like TV channels broadcasting them out here for the whole Ghanaians to see them and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard getting a reach out here. So shout out to God1 Records, they made a dream come true. And throughout the freestyles I did on the net, they linked up with me, and that's how it happened.
It all happened for you.
The rest is history.
But wait, back in Kumasi, I know there was a show. Was it on Solid FM where?
Yeah, freestyle show. Yeah, even I prescribed Amrado for that show too. Wow. Yeah, I think that's Solid FM freestyle. That they had Strongman, the likes of Strongman. I say and some rappers from Kumasi, Rati. I think So around that time, that was a freestyle show that we were doing. You're doing in Kumasi. So it was really popular around there.
You're currently with God1 Records.
God1 Records, yeah.
And let's talk about your big break. You know, we also Ekoso. It was really big.
Yeah.
And I think it was during COVID era and all that. Dropping the music video out there, did you ever imagine or envision it was going to be something big?
No. Because it was like, even the music videos, one of our lowest budget music videos. I had to shoot a video with Shatawale in Kumasi. So when I went there, because as I came here in Accra, I've been doing songs with Stoneboy, Medical, and the likes, you know, great powerful songs, Midea, some songs with Sifat Chermi. But this was something that I felt like I had to go back to my hood again. Of course, it was the first time I went back to Bantama to let people know where I'm from. You know, you've seen me sing My Day Up and all the songs, but you have to know where I'm really from. This is the culture, this is the vibe.
This is the vibe and everything. And talking about the American gang, how did you pull up your talk? I know we had a lot of people.
Yeah.
How did you create the whole concept?
I think it's the vibe. It's just the attraction around the music. Because I was. First, I had to do it with Kweku DMC. That was part of the Asaka Boys, but I think he wasn't available. Yeah, so I just switched it up and I sent it to Yao Talk. He didn't miss a word. He loved the song and he just dropped it on it, and YP2. So we just got it. I sent it to them the same day. They just sent their verses back, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
So during that period, you were with God1.
Yeah.
And things were moving to Ekoso. So we just want to know the story behind that song. Why Ekoso?
Well, because I was around that time, I felt like I was contributing to the culture, to the whole American culture, because it came up around the time I was focused on doing other music. You know, I've been doing reggae dancehall with Stoneboy, High Life with Sifa, all those kind of songs. But this was the time that I had to tap into the from Bantama, where I'm from. It's like, you know, the American thing that it came about. It's like cities and hoods, you know, Swami, Texas. Bantama, California, all those stuff, you know. So we had to just Bantama people needed somebody that could really represent them.
And you are the face of
and that song I did it with them in my mind. Something that the hood boys all gonna love it and just say, yo, Kofi Jama did this for us. So it was from my hood.
It was just amazing.
Yeah, that was
it blew everywhere. Internationally, we had people, jamming
all over the world. Yeah,
you're doing super amazing. You've done well so far. So still in Accra, I know when the song came, nominations were almost. I think it was like 7 nominations.
Yeah, but it's not all. It wasn't all for the song. Previously I have done some work the day up, like the Ghana Music Award. I got 7 nominations, and 2 or 3 of them were Ekoso. The other 4 of them were for the other song that I did. We Day Up with Stoneboy, that was best reggae dancehall and hip life artist of the year and all those. Yeah.
But I know you didn't win any of them.
Yeah,
How was the feeling
that's
like?
sad, you know. But around the time, man, coming out from Bantama all the way here and getting 7 nominations, like 2 years back, it was a dream. It was a dream for me. It was something that was far off to reach, you know. And all of a sudden, I got 7 nominations. It spoke a lot to me, and it was just my first entrance in the industry. And
but deep down, you were looking out for you getting the award. Now you said, Charlie.
Nah. Honestly, that's what people don't know. I felt not my main 7 nominations. No, it satisfied me. That was crazy. Yeah, so I didn't look forward to getting an award or something, but I just wanted my presence to be felt there, and at least everybody who sat through the award saw my name, Kofi Jamal, because almost maybe the nominations were about 15. I got 7, so you can't miss me.
You can't miss me. You've done amazing, and looking at all these nominations, Charlie, it tells you you're really working hard and all that. So right here on Healthy Morning today, we're here to celebrate you, just get to know more about you. So viewers, we're streaming live on our Facebook page. In case you don't find yourself home, go straight to our Facebook page. It is HSTV Live. Click on it, share it amongst your friends, your families and loved ones, and tell them we have Kofi Jamal right here in the studio. So Kofi, here in Accra, you know, Charlie, big gurus there around. We have the big boys doing it and all that. You settling in Accra, just let's talk about some challenges, some things you face, although you have a record label, some of the challenges you faced.
Well, I think I find it hard connecting out here sometimes, because I'm somebody who's almost always in my shell.
Your shell, okay.
So sometimes it's hard connecting outside, and I feel like it's a lesson that I have to get out of my shell more and connect with a lot of people, because you know, with this fame thing, you know, you get to lose a lot of friends. You get to lose a lot of like connections that you have previously. Before the fame and after the fame, it comes with different stuff. So I just have to be out of my shell more and connect. Yeah, I think that's one of those. Yeah,
the things you do. But going back to Bantama and Kumasi, are you still cool with your guys?
Yeah, I'm cool with all of them.
That's the Cowboys too.
Yeah, I'm cool with them.
Are you very sure?
Yeah,
everything is settled. Nothing
inside nothing fishy. Yeah. So they are my guys from way back, you know. Yeah,
nice one. And let's talk about your current projects. Now we've seen a lot of music, like in the past month. Like you've dropped. It was about bowling. Yeah. I don't know if the video is ready. I want us to go quickly check out that video. When we come back, we continue with the interview.
Straight up.
Kakra ebe dinintina yebe, kakra ebe shenintina yebe. Tiwanya wodia mame nyini mi hu, mame hama sueni udede. Mema da be wa me hustle all night long, and I'm gonna do it till they sing my song. I just wanna ball, don't get me wrong. Whoa, tijame na me nyame kese, nasa woya mane ngefe. I've been dripping on you, make I show them who the real is. Say jame na me nyame kese. Nasa woya mane ngefe. I've been dripping on you, make I show them who the real is. Say tell me what you know about that. This is for my homies with a swag like that. Go and get your money, then you ball right back. Say your piano will come cause they ain't like that. Hey, tell me what you know about that. This is for my homies with a swag like that. Go and get your money, then you ball right back. Say your piano will come cause they ain't like that. Kuti wo hoyo babe tu J mine. Sikeni so nya na feni pray mine. Party many abranti am shit way bands. Messi maso who say me ba be a crime. And be my shit to sell this shit. Me bring me pizza, bring me back, I so bring my bit here. Yeah, man, I miss it. Swagger na extraordinary. My shit to set sell boga kupali no akapa. I'm looking japper. Me mama who try to set chopper. I got to bro for and the cast until me in the force so cry me baba shin set designer. Come on, me sit down, man, I told me. New guys say me brag about it, know that I'm the do it so effortless. Lose friends, but I never lose my self-respect. Being real, make them tell them check. Tijame na me nyame kese. Nasa woya mane ngefe. I've been dripping on you, make I show them who the real is. Say jame na me nyame kese. Nasa woya mane ngefe. I've been dripping on you, make I show them who the real is. Say I mean, I'm a soon chin I never wanna waste no time. See, I got a need in my room to jam and make us sweat inside. I had a drip like I'm in the 90s. At the back of the club, that's where you find me. Sipping on things that gon' make you speedy. Oh, there's no debating. Cause no one in the corner got swagger like us. Roll up the Dutch chichimu, them pass. Make a nigga know so we boss. And this a fact. Remember, me kind of cramming your west. Repon up with your fake whatever in the west. I told ya, me yamina me in the suya. And man, I am a capunuma. And woman, that's how we are manning I've been dripping on you. Make I show them who the real is. Say I'm that's how we are manning
Alright, so it's still one right here on the screen. It happens to be the Wednesday edition of Healthy Morning, and we are doing the entertainment segment right here. And I have in the studios with me Kofi Jamal. You know, we're walking through his journey into music, getting to know him better. As I told you earlier, we're streaming live on our Facebook page. It is Hstv Live. Just go there, click on it, share it amongst your friends, your families, and tell them Healthy Morning is on. Kofi, so coming back to you, I think at first when I heard your name, Kofi Jamal, I thought it was a Muslim name because you know Muslims.
Most of the people get it confused. It's not a Muslim name.
It's not Muslim. Yeah. So how did you come about?
It's based on an Indian, Jewish, Egyptian name. They have a foundation order. It ends with R.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamal. Okay. And what does it mean?
It means in India it means happy and healthy.
Okay.
And in Egypt it means God give it.
God give it.
Yeah.
So that's the name he settled in for. Or was there any
inspiration that's the name. It's like one of the idols that I used to follow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in America, but he's deceased right now. He's no more. He was called Capital Steez, and the music that he preached about different like ideologies in his music that I really related to
it.
And he's no more. So I had a connection with him, so I just used that name.
And it's effective. I think it's
a great connection. So
exactly.
It's a whole story about that one. But that will be for later when we meet again.
Sure. So now I wanted to talk about your style of singing, because looking at the video, you know, at a point you said pizza, beggar, abitio the BBA. When we look closely at your videos, we feel we have this American vibe in there. Then the sudden switch comes in, we feel the American. What inspires you putting all these two together?
I mean I feel the creativity of the music. You know, it's a long way. It's not just based on just the music. It's the sound and the visuals too. You know, the visuals have to connect to tell the story. So shout outs to the My God One Records, the whole team, you know, for putting this amazing video concept together. We are really hugely invested in videos. If you go to the YouTube channels, you see the kind of videos we shoot. It tells a story about a song. We don't just make a song and just go stand somewhere and shoot. That's it. You just try to get the whole bigger picture for you to see.
Let's talk about the budgets that went in there, because I'm seeing a lot of
a lot went in there, but I can't disclose it. You know, I'll have to let somebody else who take care of the finances too.
And that brings me to the question about management. When you're on a team, when you find yourself in a record label, you know, all over social media we've heard artists, you know, having problems with their record labels and all that. What's your take on this whole management and record label thing? Do you think, Charlie, Ghanaians, we are doing well when it comes to, you know, putting art on record labels?
Some are doing well. You know, you have to be well structured, and something that have to be well structured, I think it takes a long time. We have record labels like Richie's label, and the crazy thing about it is it's like a hit making factory. Kwame Eugene Kiddy, they are always making hits. There's something about the label that they've learned. They've built their structure from the ground up. But there's not a lot of labels like that here in Ghana. God One is a new label that's coming up from the startup. We are still like trying to find our niche out here. So it will take a time. It will take a time for the other labels. You know, some are not just mainly labels. They are just management team. They just want to manage. And some feel like they have money, and so they can just manage an artist. But if you have money, you have to find people who know the work.
Exactly.
Before you can manage artists. So most of the problem that we have is people who know nothing about the music, but they have interest in it. They want to manage an artist, so they have this big money. So they feel like they just have to get in and just do it. But it takes a lot of structures. So when they invest in and they don't get their money back around that time, then that's where the friction comes in and stuff like that. But I think building a record label and management team, it takes time. And you have to really be well learned to do that.
So have you had any, one or two with your label?
Yeah, I think it's a building process, If something is not sitting well with me, I have to talk. If something is not sitting well, if I'm doing something wrong, they have to talk. And we have to find our niche. Like we have to find a middle ground to make everything work. So it's a working process for me and my label. And there are some labels that just come to take the artists for a ride, There are some labels that don't believe in talent. They just feel like you are hot right now, so they just come put money in you and just because you are hot for that era. And there are some labels that take time to invest in you, see where you're going 5 years, 10 years from now. That's kind of label that you want to work with.
So right now, would you boldly say you're very okay when it comes to your label, music, and everything?
Yeah, I'm very okay. I'm very cool.
Nothing did the back their way.
Nah, if those things is normal, I think it's normal, like things that you want to sort it out. Because we are not where we want to be. I want to be like one of the biggest artists in the world. So I have to push my label to get me there.
All right, sure. So right about now, we'll be activating the phone lines. We have Kofi Jamal right here. If you have any question for him, let's make it happen. So the numbers are down the screens. They're calling right now. Let's get interactive right here. It's still Healthy Morning, the Wednesday edition, and my name is JK, bringing you healthytainment. You know how we do it. We bring people who are doing super amazing in their various fields. We're here to celebrate them and make it happen. So Kofi, I know back in Bantama, you used to go to, let me get the name right, where you used to go recording and all that.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with that guy?
Yeah. Who are you talking about?
Let me get the name. I think I have the name. I want to mention it right. So
KE or boss?
No. We have Kojo Q.
Kojo Q. Yeah, Kojo Q. Funny thing is, Kojo Q's house that I was recording at first.
Okay.
That was the first bedroom studio that I got. There's a guy there that's who I started with at first, who's called The Boss Tunes. And we founded a club that's called Bantama Kings Club. That's called BKC. Yeah. So Kojo Q, it's Kojo Q's auntie's house, family's house we started.
Nice
from. Yeah.
And is everything cool?
Yeah, I'm cool with them. Yeah. Cool. That guy manages Kweku Flick now.
Okay.
So it's balanced out. You have something to take care of, and I have something else to take care of. So.
Okay, sure. So I've heard all around that you've been talking about politics and all that. You have political ambitions.
Yeah.
Is it still standing?
It's standing solidly.
Why do you want to go into politics?
Well, I think it's a calling for me. I don't know why and what and when, but I just feel like it's something that's in my DNA. It have to come out because I'm a great grandson of the Prempe the First.
Okay.
So I don't know, but it's my calling.
It's your calling.
Yeah. But I don't know. People wouldn't realize until it gets there. But now it's for the music,
So are you? Is it going to be like you're going to drop music at a point and just focus on
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to do music forever. I'm going to do it for some time. I have some time that I'm going to do music for. Then from that time on, it's going to be a different.
It's going to be a different thing altogether. So we should expect a switch from you from music to politics.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Ministry of Finance, so you can just put a. So we have a first caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Al Hassan.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, Al Hassan. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
All right, so this Healthy Morning, and today we have on the seats Kofi Jamal. Do you have any message for him?
I want to ask Kofi Jamal, when is he doing a song with Kojo Q? Because I have done a song with them very much. And I would like to see hear a song made by the two of them. I love them a lot, and I want to hear a song with these guys.
Kojo Q. Okay. Sure.
Kojo Q is my godfather, by the way. So we had some songs, like some mixtapes back then, but I don't think it's cool to release those songs now. I think now it's much more broader knowledge and more skill. So we meet and do something.
But I believe sometimes Ghanaians we love the old tunes. Bringing them back.
Some of them are mistakes. We didn't get it now. But yeah, we come back. We will do something straight. When I get to Kumasi, I'll link up with him then.
You're wondering.
My first comment is to say that I think you're a good communicator. You're very good. I like the way you articulate yourself and all. But there's this part where I see you sort of all over trying to test everything. So you've done some high life, you've done some dancehall, you've done some reggae, or maybe some dancehall. But where do we find the niche of Kofi Jamal? Is he now trying to take steps in other things? But I think we have a caller.
We have a caller. Let's talk to the caller. Hello, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Airport City.
Airport City. And your name? Amano. Okay, sure. So today we have in the studios with us Kofi Jamal. Do you have any message for him?
Yeah. I really like the video. The first time I saw this, I thought some American artist.
Yeah. So you like his video, right?
Yeah, but I like the way he mixed with the old version. Yes.
Sure.
Thanks, man.
All right.
And then the new one, yes. So I'll tell Kofi Jamal to just keep on like that because the music is a dynamic.
Straight up.
Sure. All right. Thanks very much for calling. All right. Okay. Thanks for calling. So viewers, please, whenever you call, just lower the volume on your TV set so that we can get interactive clearly right here on the show. So,
all right, so I was trying to find out. I'm going to find Kofi Jamal covering a niche for himself that we know that, okay, Kofi Jamal, the body, and just like we have Sarko, we know he's rap. When you mention Stone Boys, dancehall, are we going to have a brand like that? Because even with the nominations for the 7 awards, nominations for the Ghana Music Awards, like different parts of him were in everything. Can we find Kofi Jamal in the near future being one particular genre?
Yeah, I feel like it's all coming together, you know, because I've been testing ground since I started music.
Okay.
And one thing you said about Sarkodie, he does rap, but the thing that people don't know is Sarkodie can flow on Afrobeat. That's a genre. He can flow on hip hop. That's one genre. He can flow on high life. So that gives him that coverage all over these areas.
That's okay, but we still know him as a rap artist.
He knows as a rapper, artist, yeah. So that's but me, I feel like you can do rapper/singer.
Okay.
That's for me, and that one I don't want to be restricted to any
genre.
Any genre. But doing all these genres, I'm trying to find a genre. I'm trying to mix genres up. Burna Boy brought that fella back with Afrofusion, but he worked a lot about it. He was first doing Afrobeat and trying to find his way till he got that. So I think it will take time, but I'm getting there. But I'm a rapper/singer. I wouldn't be just I wouldn't just be busting like
We have a call on the line. Hello, Aristotle. Hello. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing
great. So we have Kofi Jamal right here. Any message for him?
Yeah, Kofi Jamal, I love him. I love Jamal.
Appreciate, man. Much love, that bro. What's that, bro? Saka.
I know him way back in Basma. I would like to get his personal number.
Kasawate, straight up.
Obey sort out. Sorry. So he says he knows you from Bantaman.
Just straight up. No doubt. Kasakura, bro.
Sharp. That's an interesting one.
So I feel like I'm still gathering my followers.
Okay.
You know, I'm still carving a niche for myself through all these songs that I'm doing. And mind you, everywhere that I go, I'm trying to get fans from there. I'm trying to get followers from there. Because I tapped into Stoneboy with Medea, and there was a dancehall song, and I got some people who are following me till this day. They move from dancehall. They love my raps, they love my singing, and they love other things that I do. So I'm just trying to build my following till that time.
Right. So you believe as an artist or a creative, you should widen up.
That's me. If you come about high life or Afrobeat, they are doing it. Kwame Eugene is doing it. Kiddy is doing it. Everybody is doing his own. But me, I don't want to be busting. I want to be that guy who moves freely everywhere.
Nice. We have another caller from Kotobabi. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I know you're calling from Kotobabi, but your name, please.
My name is Justin.
Justice. All right, sharp. So this healthy morning, and we have Kofi Jamal here. Do you have any message for him?
I just saw it video, and that's just the first time listening, and I like that video. And I thought you have something similar to this guy, or for Obibini, and I like it.
Yeah.
And Kofi Jamal being this hot artist now with the Asaka flow and stuff like that. I think these two guys can, this huge change that I think Sakodi and other rappers are carrying. The flow and the how do I say it, like the video concept and its musical genre is trying to chase now is Kofi. I like your music and this your balling, it's a hit.
Thanks,
Just
man.
Balling.
It's balling.
Thanks, man.
Sharp. All right. Thanks very much for calling. Yeah. So Kofi, let's talk about that video, balling and all that.
Yeah, balling. So the song have that ritual vibe, which are old school hip hop vibe. The song itself. So shout out to Kofi Awuah for acing the video. We talked with Kofi Awuah and just discussed with the team. The team came out with the idea. We wanted it to have the feel of the old school.
Yeah.
So if you check, we dressed like the old school kind of hip hop. So that's it. Kofi Awuah did the justice to the video.
Nice one.
Yep.
Until now, was there anybody you were looking up to in Ghana to as your mentor sort of in terms of your music career?
Yeah, a lot of them. I think a lot of them. Sako there, Flo Kingston, Chame Kwame, Lord Kenya, Daddy Lumba, Kojo Entry. A lot of them. My experience, I think one of the reasons why I can't be busting is like I listen to everybody, and I have that passion for all these musicians. So I think I have a bit of everything in me.
Right.
So I just can't bust.
We have a caller. Hello, Angel. Hello, Angel.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, good morning. This is Healthy Morning right here on HSTV.
Good morning.
Yeah. So we have Kofi Jamal here. Do you have any message for him?
Yeah, this is my guy. I'm also from my family. I love this music because my guy is my friend. So if you really back my work, you know I just love the music and the video that I did.
Thanks,
so
man.
I just put together and go listen album. Everything will be okay. So Kofi, I mean, chill.
Bless up, man.
Nice. So you have fans. You have people that American guy, but you get it. But looking at you seem very calm. Is this how you are?
Yeah, I'm so calm.
No, he's
I'm Kofi too. We are not.
Yeah, Kofi.
We have to. Rebel. Yeah.
Isn't unless you have to rebel. So Kofi, quickly, let's we want to find out from you what is happening in the future. Let's say tomorrow, in the month to come, or in the year. What should we expect from you?
Yeah, right about now, my next single is about to drop. We're still preparing it, and it features one of the best rappers in Africa here. Yeah, so you guys should watch out.
That's
the thing I want. I'll be here for the premiere. I'll be here for the premiere. That's it. So you gotta look out to it. I want people to look out for it. Anyway.
Suspense.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That leads me to another question. Who are you looking out for to working with?
I was gonna ask that question.
Kanye West.
But I think
Kanye West.
I think we have a
caller. Caleb, hello. Hello, Caleb.
He will tell you his name is
Caleb. Carlos. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you? Good morning.
Good morning. So,
HSTV, you guys are doing great job first of all.
We're humble.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kofi Jamal.
Straight up, my G.
Kofi Jamal.
I see you, bro.
Oh, Charlie, I'm a huge fan of yours, man. I'm a huge fan of yours,
I appreciate
Charlie.
it, man.
The good keep it up, man.
Thanks,
Keep
man.
it up. And then Mr. Diego Pata.
Yes, sir.
Well, so I didn't you remind me.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't you remind me. I'm a musician. I don't make my music video for the station for. Hey.
My bad. Which DM? Is it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Which one?
Hello?
Which DM? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which one? So that I'll go and check.
Facebook.
Okay, sorry, I'll go and check. Okay.
Hi, I'll give you his personal number, okay?
You know, Kofi, thanks very much for calling and have a wonderful morning. That leads me to another question. You know, sometimes your fans or people want to get interactive with you. And Charlie, then they slide the DMs. Then they say, you menace, you know, they reply DM. You see, they're going, they reply.
They reply.
Do you have time going on replying
Sometimes
DMs?
I can. Sometimes I can read a message and but somebody will be requesting for your number, and you know it doesn't always end up like that good for you. You know, the person will be disturbing you, calling you every time. So
I know that
that's
feeling.
crazy. Yeah.
I reply on my WhatsApp message.
You don't.
He said Facebook.
Yes, Facebook.
I'm going to
I just opened Facebook.
Hi guys, don't give me your personal number.
I don't know. So I reply almost every message that comes to me. I'm always on my phone.
You let's do it, Kofi.
I wanted to find out which big stage are you looking to mount, and then what kind of collaboration. Who is that person that you want to collaborate that will make your dream come true? And then, as much as the 7 nominations, where you were okay, you felt fulfilled. Which collaboration are you looking at, and then which stage do you want to mount to even become more fulfilled?
Okay, like a stage I want to be on.
Yes.
Where I think it will be like Governor's Ball Made in America kind of concert, you know.
Big dreams.
And I would love to meet Kanye West, to have a song with him because he produces also, and I like his mindset and ideas, and I think we will vibe a lot.
It's a big one. It's going to happen. We're picking out a last caller. Hello. Hi, good morning. Your name and where are you calling from? Doing. So it's Healthy Morning right here. We have. Do you have any message for him?
See how he's talking on stage, see some humbleness in him. I really like that. So
thanks, man.
I like to tell him that he should keep it up. Musicians, they only need humbleness to move up to the next level. So, without that, I'm promising him that he moves to the next level. So that's good. And the East American effect in music is so crazy. Blending our local things to American life foreign, it's so great and I really like that. Just have.
Sure. All right. Thanks very much for calling and have a wonderful morning. So, Kofi, what are you going to tell your fans as we're wrapping up the whole show?
They should keep supporting, you know. The newest song is about to drop also. They should keep supporting that one because I'm going to make them proud.
You're going to make them proud.
Your social media handles.
Yeah,
at Kofi Jamar, KOFIJAMAR. People just mistake it for L at the end, but it's RJAMAR. So Kofi Jamar on Twitter, Kofi Jamar on Instagram, Facebook, Kofi Jamar, the Kofi Jamar on TikTok.
So you get TikTok too.
Yeah, bro. Right now, you know.
But how's the OG and the old woman doing? I don't see your papa, your mommy be your big fan. Wow.
Yeah, they are doing great.
Have you gone to see them?
My mom's favorite song is Ballin'.
Ballin'.
Yeah, she really likes the song. Anytime they play it on TV, calls me, yo, I'm
sharp. Kofi, we're humbled having you today on Healthy Morning. It's been amazing and very inspiring. Looking at your story, and I know the younger people coming will pick one or two from it and make it happen. We're here to support you, and don't be a stranger. Anytime we call, we know you're going to be here.
The next single, I'm coming here, you know.
Sharp, we'll be expecting you. Alright, so viewers, it's been amazing right here on your screens. It happens to be the Wednesday edition of Healthy Morning, and Stephanie was here, Diego was here, JK. You know, we inspire you, we educate you, everything you need to know about your health. We make it happen right here. And don't forget to follow all our social media platforms. It's very necessary. HSTV, on Facebook and also on Instagram. So Thursday we're coming back with something bigger and better. My name is JK and I'm here with...
My name is Stephanie Ejojina Manyana.
And my name is William Diego Pakabene. It's a pleasure serving you.
Have a good morning.
But many about my shit way bands. Missy my son who sent me Barbie a crime. And me my shit to sell this shit. Bring me pizza, bring me back, I sound so ring my bit here. Yeah, man, I miss it. Swagger, extraordinary. My shit to set to sell, but I could pali, no capa. I'm looking dapper. My mommy who tried to set chopper. I got to bro for and the cast and to me in the force to grab me by machine set designer. Come on, sit down, man, I told me. New guys, I'm bragging, but they know that I'm the do it so effortless. Lose friends, but I never lose my self-respect. Being real, make them tell them check. Tijamin, I'm in yummy cafe. That's the way I'm on in cafe. I've been dripping on you. Make I show them who the real is.
Say I'm in cancer. That's how I'm on in your I've been dripping on you.